that aren't moving in the direction that they'd like. Unfortunately, this is what's happening here. But you know what? You're a $1 billion industry. You're making money. You're having a laugh. Okay, so back your players in, back the product in. Then have it. Let it be a loss leader at least for a few years. Grow the game. Get them in the door, and just if it results in loss for a few years, then so be it. But you have to grow it.
And I know Cox's going to jump in a point, but I'll mention one thing. She also said, and then as the AFL, we foot the bill. Yes, exactly. And you made a $49 million surplus last year. Yes, obviously your bit will go to grassroots, but like any business that's a startup business, let's think of a big business like Facebook. It lost millions and millions for its first few years. But you know what you do in startups? You keep pouring the money in to improve your product to make it that product that you can sell at the end of the day. And it's like, we're losing money. Every business that starts up loses money early. No one turns a profit over instantly from the start. It's all about investing in your product, looking at where you need to improve, investing in that area, and then essentially, with proper planning, you know that by X date, this is when things will start to make a profit.
I know it's a commercial business, and I understand that, but what's the ultimate success here? Is it to have money being made to support grounds? Yes, probably. But also, isn't part of the success of women's football in general the fact that participation numbers are currently through the roof? The fact we now have a VFLW competition that has AFL clubs involved. The fact that these athletes have grown significantly in the last 3 years as professional football players that are still playing as amateurs. What's the success? Define the success, define the strategy, define the vision.
Okay, season 1, AFLW, their faces were over everything, over social media, bus stops, fences, everywhere. People got to know who Daisy Hickey was, Daisy Pearce. Who did we get to? It's the new player coming in. New marketing job for someone. So Daisy Pearce, Moana Hope, in the end, Sarah Perkins. The kids idolise them. And there's more young children now playing the game. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's something like a growth of 70% of females participating. Now, not only at Auskick level, there's youth girl levels, and across, I definitely know Sydney, I think every state has been massive growth in youth girl leagues. So to get a new league going, that's a whole heap of new teams. Yeah. So that's a whole heap of new players now playing. And then I can tell you now, especially in Melbourne, Masters. So the old bags, they're coming back on the field, or never played before. They're coming in now playing, and they go and support these teams. So they're all paying a membership. So some of that membership must go back to the AFL, right? They're making money off it. Yeah. All these people are coming to the game because of seeing the AFL. Okay, we don't pay any money to come through the gates and watch, but there's other ways the AFL is generating some income out of it. And people are buying merchandise. Yeah. So they're making money. They've got to be. Open the books.
Absolutely. Everyone
throw the books open. Show us.
Yeah, because I had heard, unofficially, I'd heard some rumours that the clubs were saying in year 1, the AFL clubs saying, yeah, we're making, without knowing, because they weren't footing the bill for the players, they were saying, yeah, we're making money. We're getting sponsors. We're getting people that throw in $500 to $1,000 each to be a player sponsor as well. So there was money being thrown around in AFLW. So that was great to see, but my fear is, like today, with the weather, dark clouds seem to be hovering over that competition. It's like women's footy seems to be healthy below the AFLW, which is fantastic, but there just seems to be some dark clouds around AFLW because no one knows what the heck's going on. And I think, Kiwi, you made the comment to me off air, and a number of people made the comment to me. Funny enough, the game we're about to call, VFLW football, many are now saying they view the VFLW as the number 1 competition, and the AFLW is just a pre-season.
You know, I think it is. VFLW, look at it. Full season, so you get 16 rounds. You've got the best players from Victoria playing, the best players from Adelaide playing, best players from Northern Territory playing, some of the best from Sydney playing. And we just need Queensland and WA to put a team in.
And unofficially, we know Hawthorn played some players. Unofficially, rumours have been that some players at Hawthorn being paid better than they have been at AFLW level.
I know they are. Yeah. And they're getting jobs out of it.
But you know the biggest thing, that why it's better than the AFLW, It's because you got the #1 women's football commentary team in position to call the elimination semi-final.
And not only that, there's a whole bunch of these female teams with female head coaches.
Exactly.
There you go, best coaches in the country.
And may I say, when they did the trial rules the other week with Carlton versus Essendon, and a big score was racked up by Carlton, isn't it funny? The coach happened to be a female coach, Shannon McFerrin, who'd been in women's football for a long, long time. And it was a fast open game by someone who knows women's football.
Exactly.
Isn't that funny?
That's how she used to play.
Yeah.
Fast open running. I hated playing against her.
Shannon McFerrin.
Still do. Damn it. Now she's back playing Masters.
And
some people should never be allowed to come back.
Hang on, you were just boasting the participation numbers.
She's got a name on a medal. That's enough.
And talking about names on medal, just quickly, we should now, and as much as every now and again we kick AFL Victoria in the shins every now and again, we do have to praise them about one thing. They have done the right thing, and they've brought back a number of medals that were originally in the VWFL and reinstated them for the, as Katie will pick up on, for the VFLW, with one slight tweak, which I think's okay. Now the Helen Lambert Daisy Pearce medal for the best player in the VFLW.
A woman synonymous with the Helen Lambert medal. She has, what, 5 of them? Yeah, incredible.
6, yeah, 6.
6, jeez. Lost count there, but a well-deserved recognition for those who have done so much for the game and within the game. Rowena Young, obviously, as well, getting the leading goal kicker award. Debbie Lee with the rising star, I believe. So
and Lisa Hardiman with the best on ground in the grand final.
Overdue. Why it wasn't done from the first place, I'll never know, but we're here now. Well done to everyone who made the decision to make this happen. This is a well-deserved nod and something that's so important for the culture of the game, for the history of the game to be acknowledged. So congratulations to all involved.
And I'll throw one more in there because, maybe the AFL is listening, particularly if I say something bad about them, they'll be listening. I do suggest one thing, if we're naming cups and whatever, one thing I'd love to see, if we're going to keep with this tradition of Collingwood Carlton or 2 Victorian teams kicking off the AFLW season, I'd love to see that then play for the Griffiths-Fraser Cup in the first game. They, of course, were the 2 women who started the VWFL back in 1981. I'd love to see those 2 women recognised on a cup.
Yeah.
I know the lady in 1979 who handed out flyers and got 90 girls to turn up that year to play the very first games in VFL. Well, in Victoria. And she's back playing Masters footy.
And her name?
Lynn. Super Lynn.
Super Lynn.
She's playing out of the Melbourne, I think Melbourne Super Rules Club is what they're called down at Albert Park.
That's brilliant.
Coming up on a podcast in the very near future. There we go. I'm just putting that on there. Get to work, Pete.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And while they're at it, maybe they can bring back the Yvette Andrews medal in Sydney. Maybe name the best GWS player the Yvette Andrews medal. That'd be nice.
Well, yeah, Veto is. She's been a member at Giants, I think, since it started out that way, and a former Swans member. So there's another one that's kind of turned to the other side. But we used to have a Nat Morgan medal, who was my first state captain in New South Wales. She's probably one of the hardest players I ever marked up on. A former Victorian, but a nice one. We used to call her Nana Nat. She was a bit older, but super left foot. But yeah, we had the 2 medals named after them. And then as game progresses, Sydney AFL changed it and named it after Sam Mostyn. Now, I've heard of Sam Mostyn, heard of a lot of things that she did, and after 15 years of playing football, I'd never actually met her. So I thought, why in Sydney are we playing for a medal named after someone who's not come and met players? So I thought it was interesting. I've now met her. She's actually a very lovely woman, and and Division 1 in Sydney is named after Karen James, who's a previous president. And played state rep footy as well.
So there we are. Maybe the Andrews Morgan medal for the best GWS player. I'll start a petition on that so we can get those great women recognised. Again, as we said, AFL Victoria renaming those VFLW medals after those former medals in the VWFL, which was fantastic to see. We're about to get underway here in RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au with the VWFL minor semi-final between the ND Thunder and the Geelong Cats. Your lead caller to get us underway is Matthew Cox.
Thank you very much, Peter Holden. Pleasure to be with you here at Stannard Stadium, North Port Oval. The elimination semi-final is underway in the Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition. Hall won the tap down. Cranston lost control of it. Marinoff pops it out into space. Centre wing out of side. Chasing after it is Morrison, who earlier in the week won the TAC Cup Best and Fairest for the girls competition. Her kick forward is good. Mark taken by Boyd. Half forward flank out of side for the Cats. Just waiting for an option inside, attacking 50. Toe pokes the kick short to Cranston. Just a little too hot for her. Doubles back does Cranston. Puts it towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing ball taken here by Thorne. Dispossessed. Clifford coming through. Traps the ball in, and she's caught by a couple of Thunder players. Will get a ball up inside, attacking 50 for the Cats. No score either side, approaching the first minute in the opening term here on RSN Carnival and the VFL live stream.
And big tackle laid on immediately. I think it was Garrett that went in there, laid it for the Cats, and we'll call for a secondary ball up. We're at the what we call the Yarra River end of the ground, I guess, or where they've got the brand new pavilion here at Stannard Stadium. It's only a couple of years old. As once again, we're going to call for another ball up as Swanson watches on. Just Ivy giving a player tap on the back, says good work, and we'll restart play again. Deep in the forward pocket, no score either side. Up we go again. Derby wins the contest. Ball squeezed out. Kerry cut the football. Gave it off. Hurried little snap by Boyd. Went into heavy traffic though. One got over the top at the goal square. Umpire said that's no push out. Play on. Danielle Orr trying to work her way through. Thunder trying to clear up the last line of defence and a brilliant tackle from behind. Umpire calls play on. Birchall goes for the snap around the corner and will go to the right-hand side and register as a point. Geelong one behind. NT Thunder yet to score early stages first term. Match analyst today, Lisa Roper.
Yeah, this is a great start from the Cats. They're applying a lot of pressure in their attacking 50.
Allen to bring the ball back into play. Little indecisive about the direction that she's going. High ball towards the half-back flank on the outer side. Good grab taken by the Thunder. And it looks like it's Hewitt out there that's taken it. Goes long with the kick towards the centre wing outer side. Foley chasing after it. Pops it into a bit of space. They've been able to pressure the ball forward. Just running out of room though, Michaelia Roberts. Ball over the boundary line and out of play between centre wing and half forward outer side for the Northern Territory. Thunder also another match analyst today is Katie Lambeski.
Yeah, I think we've seen an early blueprint from the Cats. They're not going to allow Northern Territory any space at all for as much as they can, just to really work them hard. Don't let them get any clean possession because they can be deadly, as we know.
And one out by Hewitt in this contest. Going in there, the good doctor, Erin Hall, couldn't squeeze out the hand pass. Cranston, the ball bobbled away from her. Michaelia Roberts was waiting for the ball to pop out, didn't do so. In goes Ebony Marinoff, hurriedly put it on the left boot, but as she was being swung around, it came off the side of the boot and went out of bounds on the full free kick for the Cats. And going to take the footy by the look of it is Maddie Kerrick. The list hit from Carlton at the end of the 2018 AFLW season. And her kick
didn't go back into play.
So that means it is a throw-in. So an unusual circumstance on the city side of the ground. We'll have a ball in once again. And we'll reset ourselves with Erin Hall versus Jasmine Hewitt. A Adelaide Crows ruck versus a former Melbourne Demons ruck who will be playing, of course, for Geelong and AFLW in 2019. One down by Hewitt, getting close towards the boundary line. Going in after the football there was Amy McDonald. Couldn't get control of it. Still on the half back here for the Cats. Trying to weave the way through traffic is Nina Morrison. She had the ball knocked out of her hands. Also trying to get involved there, Angela Foley. And once again, we'll go over the boundary line and out of bounds for another throw-in. Match analyst, Katie Lambeski.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see Geelong. It's currently working at the moment. They're really trying to get numbers around the ball, not allow any space, try to kill the game that way. Be interesting to see if Northern Territory can just try to open this up a little bit more. Try look for the switch. Try get that hard kick into 50.
Hall won the tap down. Marinoff caught. Cranston tries to fire the handball out. He's unable to. Blake Way going to ground, and the umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up. 4.5 minutes gone, opening term on RSN Carnival Digital Radio and VFL.com.au live video stream. Hall won the tap down. Michaelia Roberts. Toe poke kicks it away from the contest. Scored there is Streeter in the middle. The umpire's blown the whistle, the non-officiating umpire, and says a free kick is going the way of the Cats. Defensive side of the centre They switched the ball towards the broadcast side. Sitting underneath it was Purcell, the 23rd player for the Cats. And they move it towards the half-forward flank. Darby came out, couldn't bring it in. Marinoff slipped through her fingers like a piece of soap on that occasion. Clifford gives the handball off quickly. Birchall's caught, dispossessed, holding the ball. Free kick to go the way of the Thunder and the way of Samantha Barnett, half-back flank.
And Rocky Barnett gets on the right boot, goes up the line, went over the head there of Ann Hatchard and was escorted over the boundary line and out of bounds. Match analyst Lisa Kiwi Roper.
Yeah, Erin Hall has actually led the headouts for the VFL this season, but her efficiency rating is actually very, very low. So if if NT have got a good way to win these stoppages, they'll win those taps when they come down to ground.
Blakely wanted to try and run on the footy. There was Anna Teague as well. Had to go backwards, picked off though by the Thunder and ended up in the hands of Emma Swanson. Swanson kicks it inside 50. Foot race is going to be on. Jordan Hickey chasing after the football. But it ended up bouncing over the boundary line and out of bounds. In fact, did it go? Yes, it did. There was a question there from the Geelong player if it was on the full or not, but the goal umpire was on the spot and signalled to the boundary that it will be a throw-in. So at the Williamstown end of the ground, Geelong lead by a point at the moment after about 6 minutes into this first term. Back into play, went past the head of Hoare. On the ground, trying to pick it up and weave through traffic there was Riley, who gave it off. A quick snap on goal by Hatchard is away to the right-hand side. And it clips the post for a minus score. One behind each, 6.5 minutes gone first term on RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au.
The skipper of the Cats, Beck Goring, looks to bring the ball back into play. Sends it to the outer side and has coughed it up. Mark taken out there. Trying to pick up who that is that's taken the intercept. Jeffrey? You can see a number 9 on the back, but is there another number in the way? Comes in, the kick is good. It's a goal. And
I think it's Radjic, actually, Mariana Radjic.
Radjic it was. So she's our first major kicker here today at Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval. That means the Thunder move to 1-1-7. Geelong one behind, 7.5 minutes gone. Opening term RSN Carnival, VFL.com.au. Katie Lambeski.
You can't be offering turnovers like that. Northern Territory Thunder will eat that up all day, and you have to cut those mistakes out. They will hurt. They will hurt you. Important, got to get on the board despite Geelong's great efforts early.
So one out by Hoare, put it into heavy traffic though. Foley overran the football and there was stacks in the middle. The umpire will call for a ball up. And you're interested in saying earlier, Lisa, about the ineffective disposals there by Erin Hoare. Remember one opposition saying last year that she swats it with the big right hand always left and was a bit too easy to read in a contest. Let's hope that obviously she's played into her second season now. She can work on that a little more before heading into AFLW 2019 as the hurry kick away by Ebony Marinoff goes inside 50. Swanson held the football up, tried to give it off as a hot potato hand pass, but a teammate was immediately caught. Goes into a pack of half a dozen. Going in to lay the tackle there was Jordan Hickey. Ball spills out. Roberts tried to get a hand in there as well. Now coming away with the Cats and going for the long kick as Hayley Trevine goes up towards centre wing on the city side of the ground. Picking it off there for the Thunder was Barnett. Again, it's congested football on the other side of the ground as Swanson now picks it up off the deck, dribbles a kick inside 50. It's an awkward bouncing ball. Calling for it over the top and receiving is Angela Foley. Her shot on goal is rather disappointing. It is away to the right-hand side and out of bounds on the full.
Had Sue Elder on too. She just lowered the eyes a little bit. So Geelong bring the ball back into play and it's going to go straight down the throat of Radjic again. Takes another intercept mark inside attacking 50 for the Northern Territory Thunder. They lead by 6 points. About 9 gone in the opening term. She pokes it inside attacking 50 where the mark is taken by Ann Hatchard for the Northern Territory Thunder.
Starting to look a bit ominous for the Thunder at the moment. Really starting to get a run on. Cats aren't helping themselves with this turnover, though. They really need to just go down the line if you're in doubt. Try force another stoppage down the wing, but look, they might get hurt here through Hatchard, but the kick is wide.
Yeah, it goes through for another minus score. So the Thunder 1-2-8. Geelong, the minor score. We are approaching 10 minutes in the opening term on RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, rsn.net.au and vfl.com.au.
Scoring from full back. Oh, what a mark. She was trying to find Birchall, but it was taken by Jasmine Hewitt. Hewitt is about 50 metres out from goal. Half-forward flank, pops it long towards the goal square. Oh, no. It was Sedentary who went for it, bobbled the mark, and she realised if she actually let it go, it would have gone through. Another minor score, Thunder 139, Geelong a point.
As the Cats again try and bring it back into play. Just goes past Barnett, though, for the Thunder, and we'll get a boundary throw in on the half-forward flank for the Thunder, who have settled into the game nicely after a chaotic opening few minutes where Geelong pressured the ball forward. Hewitt won the tap down for the Thunder. Cats searching for Carrick, who's caught and pushed over the boundary line and out of play. We will throw it in now. Match analyst today, Lisa Roper.
Yeah, Geelong are doing a lot of errors down the back there. They're not picking the right options and they're kicking to the out number.
We wait for the throw in. Half forward flank here for the Thunder. Spinning back into play. One out there by Hewitt. In goes Hoare, immediately wrapped up, and the umpire is going to call for a ball up. Also in the contest there, Kylie Duggan for the NT Thunder. By the way, I just spot in the distance the former president of the Port Melbourne Football Club, Mr. Peter Bromley. Always good to see him. And the scones with jam and cream. I'm sure they're coming through at some stage. They're always good here at Port. And he's running the canteen, he tells me, as well. Hardest working ex-president there is. Don't see Eddie Maguire doing that stuff. As the ball is thrown back into play, Erin Hoare brings it down, looking for Ebony Marinoff. Can't pick up the football. Squeeze it out to Ange Foley. And a great smother coming through. Sees the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. The smother there, I think, by Madeline Kerrick, who got a shove afterwards. The Thunder not happy with an excellent 1%er.
So we toss the ball back into play. 12 gone opening term. It's the Thunder holding sway at the moment. Wheeling off half back, though, was Purcell for the catch. She's turned it over as well. And the Thunder have a mark. Half forward. Sedentary. Ball in her hands. Goes towards the top of the goal square. And it's going to be all wrapped up. The umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up. 139, the Northern Territory Thunder. Geelong one behind. The winner of this match will play Collingwood next week in the preliminary final here at Stannard Stadium. The loser, it's season over. As the Thunder work it into the hands there of Forth, who's again pushed it across the face. A number of opportunities early, Katie, but they're not capitalising, the Thunder.
You're right, and that's the most important thing. You just far too many shots coming from, I think, the pockets, the flank kind of area. They need to look more into the centre, try to get those high percentage shots and try to put them on the board that way.
Hoare takes the mark at the half-back flank for the Cats on the broadcast side of the ground here in the Norm Goss stand. Gets on the right boot, goes to heavy traffic. Katie Darby had the hands in the air. Darby couldn't pull it in, but it did end up going to Olivia Purcell. Named as the 23rd player today. Purcell moved towards the centre wing, only for it to be turned over. McCormick got the hand pass through there. The ball was intercepted, though, by the Cats. In goes Mia Ray Clifford. Lost it, got it back again. Dribbled the kick forward. Now the foot race on towards the half-forward flank. Darby was one of those coming at it, but picking it off here for the NT Thunder was the player in Sedentary. Sedentary's kick, though, was trying to find Ebony Marinoff. It got pecked off. And now a chance for the Cats by Hannah Birchall. Trying to take the slips catch type of mark there is Maddie Kerrick. Having to fight for it with Stevie Lee Thompson. The umpire comes in and says, holding the ball. Says you hatched it. And that will be a free kick going the way of the Thunder.
So Thompson to take it. Centre wing, grandstand side. Goes into towards the Sedentary direction. Has two to beat. Can't gather it cleanly. Goes to ground. Thunder now arrive with support. The handball was searching for Marinoff. Takes it. Dishes around traffic. Gets dispossessed by Cranston. Umpire says play on. Ball still at half forward for the Thunder. There's now a whistle. A holding the ball decision going the way of Geelong. Centre half back. They trail one behind to 1-4-10. The Northern Territory Thunder. 14 and a half minutes into the first term as the kick goes wide, or cutting off. There was Fogus. And ran out of room. She cut off Kate Darby there. They just needed to talk a little bit there, Lisa.
Yeah, you know, there's actually a really strong wind down at ground level. And this is a chance for Geelong to step up. They've got a very high handball game that has dominated a lot of games this season. So here's a chance for them to use it to get out of the wind and get back down their end.
McMahon versus Hewitt. Put it straight down the throat of Swanson. Swanson just slammed it on the boot and went to gain 40 metres going up the ground. Taking the ball there and slipping over the crucial moment, Rebecca Pearson at the boundary line over and out. One thing as well, Kiwi, just compared to yesterday's game, seems to be going at a slower pace and a lower intensity.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if the wind is affecting that or the team that's flowing in. Geelong had to drive a long way. I'm not too sure, but yeah, there's perhaps a little bit of extra rivalry yesterday between Collingwood and Hawthorn too. So
they're worried about the drive. It's only an hour train trip. Take the V line. As the ball is now out in the centre wing position, almost cupping one in the back. There was Jordan Ivey. Ball spilt out. McCormick tried to get a hurried hand pass out of there. Stevie Lee Thompson was there as well. Ball almost squeezed out there. Now got it to Poison. Ivy couldn't quite hang on to it. Half forward flank position still in dispute. In goes Birchall, can't extract it. Taken away there by a hurry kick. Lisa Roberts moved it up the ground. Mark taken here for the Thunder in Riley. Riley moved it sideways to find Emma Swanson, who says, calm things down. I've got things under control.
She just chips it over the top. Thunder just possessing the ball at the moment down the outer wing. Goes inside attacking 50. Goring cutting across. Able to bring it down. A smother from the catch defence under a heap of pressure. Cranston unable to control the footy. Riley lays on the tackle for the Thunder. Ball pops out of the back into the hands of McCormick. Her kick smothered. And it eventually spills out. The hurry kick comes from the Thunder in towards the forward pocket. Ball will dribble over the boundary line and out of play in front of Renee Forth. We will throw the ball in. Forward pocket, outer side. We've travelled 16 and a half minutes in the opening term on RSN Carnival and the VFL live stream. It is 1-4-10 the Thunder. Geelong, one behind.
Ball thrown back into play. Morrison wins the tap. Swanson works her way through, goes for the snap, and it's away to the right-hand side for another minus score. 1-5-11 the NT Thunder. Geelong one behind. 17 minutes gone in the first term. Match analyst Katie Lembeski.
Can't really fault Geelong's endeavour at all. They're playing well. The tackles, they're sticking the tackles, just being let down by decision-making skills. But again, they just need to stay tight and stick fat, so they'll stay in the game.
And again, the kick-off half-back. Oh, Nelly let them down, but somehow Boyd managed to bring it in. Takes the mark. Very close to the boundary line, unable to take it there was McMahon, and the ball is over the boundary line and out of play. Hewitt was appealing for it being out on the full. The umpire says nothing doing. We'll throw it in. Between centre wing, half forward for the Northern Territory Thunder. Ball spills out the back of the pack. Chasing onto it was Duggan. She gets mown down. The umpire hovering says it's going to be a Geelong free kick off half back. Need to make something of this, Lisa.
Yeah, they've got a chance now to really find some gaps and find the right option.
Ball is long towards the Cranston direction. Swanson had the footy and then was immediately gang tackled, and the umpire says going nowhere. We're called for a ball up. Maybe both sides' coffee hasn't kicked in quite yet.
They need some special coffees.
Or they've done like me and worked a 9-hour overnight shift coming into this. As in goes Swanson.
Boo-hoo.
Over to Kerrick, who got a hurry kick in. Now being picked up and spinning around Sarah Allen. Got brought to ground and she got rid of it. Foley sees it over the boundary line. Being caught there by Mia Ray Clifford. And there's a bit of a bump and there's a bit of a how do you do? And the umpire says, let's reset play right in front of our broadcast position.
No all and brawl and no one blocking your vision.
Thanks, Kiwi.
So we've strapped you into the grandstand today to avoid that happening again. Ball,
Protecting the kids.
Ball comes out the back. Now Roberts chasing after it. That was Michaelia Roberts for the Northern Territory Thunder. Lost control of it. Tackle there applied by Nalda. Ball spills out. It's squeezed across to Purcell. High ball inside attacking 50. The slap from Barnett from behind wasn't effective. Mia Ray Clifford. Hurried snap on goal. Will drift into the pocket and just go over the line and out of play. We'll throw it in. Forward pocket. Grandstand side of Stannard Stadium as we head towards quarter time.
Thrown back into play. Darby wins the contest. Marinoff goes in there. all locked up. That's the result the Thunder wanted to kill the clock. 18 seconds remaining until the quarter time siren here on RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, rsn.net.au and vfl.com.au. Ball went down, rove quickly out of the pack there by Hayley Trevine. Her kick is away to the right. 2 behind Geelong, NT Thunder 1-5-11, and that will end the first quarter. Once the siren goes, because it's gone 20 and 5 seconds. And a 9-point lead to the NT Thunder in this elimination semi-final. The winner to meet Collingwood next weekend. Of course, Hawthorn going straight through to the grand final. Let's get some early impressions on that first quarter. Let's start, first of all, with the assistant coach of Darebin in Lisa Roper.
Look, I'm going to have a look at the forwards down there, and I think 5 behinds when a couple of those really probably should have gone through the big sticks. NT had all the pressure. They had the tailwind. The way that Swanson's been playing this season, I think she's had a very consistent season and banged in a whole heap of goals. Foley's another one who's banged in a whole heap of goals and had a shocking miss, really. I think hers actually didn't even get a score. So I hope they don't rue these misses, because now Geelong's going to have the win. But I think that just shows 6 shots or 7 shots to 2 is quite dominant for 20 minutes.
With her thoughts, Katie Lembeski.
I'm really enjoying Geelong's game at the moment, really taking it up to Northern Territory, probably the best approach they could take to this. Very interesting to see the clash of styles play out. A few times it looked like Northern Territory would break down the Geelong wall for a second there, but Geelong have kind of held firm. Just need to tighten up with the skills, better decision making going forward, and tighten that up, and that should stand you in good stead going forward for the rest of the game.
Coxie, just the 1 goal kicker at quarter time.
Yeah, and that was Rajic for the Northern Territory Thunder, which sees the score 1-5-11. The Northern Territory leading the Cats 2 behinds.
You're listening to Carnival on digital radio, live streaming around the world, and on the RSN smartphone app. See the listening guide at rsn.net.au.
Got a big game this weekend? Here's where to meet up. The Mail Exchange Hotel, just 5 minutes walk from Etihad. Ales, wine, superb food and tab terminals. The Mail Exchange Hotel, where footy fans meet up. Corner of Burke and Spencer Street City, right opposite the steps at Southern Cross Station.
This is Jason Bonington. A good horse sets you up for a Saturday at the races.
I found myself a good horse.
The team rides in every Saturday morning from 10:30.
We have got a very, very special guest this morning.
We argue over form, talk with a few of the day's stars, and uncover the nuggets that could turn a profit on the punters.
Lindsay Park runners over the line. They're probably the stable I'm keenest on.
Jason Bonington, Matt Welsh, and the Tabs' Nick Quinn rolling right up to the racing on a good horse. 10:30 Saturday mornings on RSN 927.
Every week, more than 20 Australian families will hear the words that will change their lives forever. Your child has cancer. For the long and uncertain journey ahead, Red Kite is there with very real help, like hospital and community-based support, vital financial assistance and educational services. Can you help Red Kite support these families through their cancer journey? Visit redkite.org.au or call 1800 334 771.
When a safety barrier is hit, it catches you like a net, slows you down and prevents you from hitting a tree or oncoming traffic. Safety barriers save lives, getting us towards zero.
Come and see the bigger, better Bayswater Jayco. Check the brilliant range of caravans and campers, new and pre-loved. There's finance to get you on the road, repairs and service from the experts, including insurance work, and an accessory shop with all the essentials, gadgets and extras. Bayswater Jayco really has got it all. All you have to think of is where to go. Bigger, better Bayswater Jayco. Canterbury Road, Bayswater.
You can talk with Father Gerard Dowling.
Welcome to the Family Counsellor Program. It's great to be with you wherever you are.
We all need a helping hand.
It's always great to come in here, spend these 2 hours with you as you listen.
And a friendly voice is just a phone call away.
Marianne is on the line.
Hi, Jared.
The Family Counsellor Program. We all need someone to talk to. Sunday nights from 10. On RSN 927.
Am I on the air?
Presented by Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
This is the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
on RSN Carnival Digital Radio in Melbourne, the RSN Racing and Sport app, rsn.net.au. Click on Digital Radio and the video stream on VFL.com.au. You're listening to the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's semi-final. It's the elimination semi between the Cats and the Thunder, and the Thunder lead by 9 points at quarter time, 1-5-11 to Geelong, 2 behind. Peter Holden, Matthew Cox, Katie Lambeski and Lisa Roper with you at a very loud Norm Goss stand here where we can hear the music and the speakers playing above us. How's you hear it? Hey, what? But the both sides breaking from their huddles at the moment. You were talking, Lisa, about a slight breeze at ground level. Where do you think it's favouring?
Definitely the road end.
Williamstown road end. To the right, the screen. For those
to the right of screen.
That house, people go, Williamstown road, where the heck's that? Right of screen. So.
Well, there's a road over the other side, so technically.
You're saying it's swirling. Thank you very much. Very helpful, Lisa.
I think it's, I don't know if it's swirling. I think it's actually quite a deliberate breeze towards that end. And it's, when you're down at the coffee cart, a friend told me it's quite windy.
Special coffee coming into play for Lisa.
I'm also told it's quite windy near the canteen where they sell the Burrow burgers. But anyway,
I was going to say
that's a swirling wind.
I got nothing.
Yeah, thanks very much.
It's a special coffee.
That's why she's here for the special comments. Lisa Roper, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom-tish.
Now we're about to get underway for this second term. Let's try and get some seriousness back into the commentary box. Thunder lead by 9 points to get you underway for this quarter. The man who called 2 TAC Cup matches yesterday, his name is Matthew Cox.
Thank you very much, Pete. Always a good time of year. A lot of footy around, a lot of people coming off the ground too.
And it's warming up in the Mr. Whippy van just quietly as well.
Healthy, well, I don't know whether you want to be warming the Mr. Whippy van up necessarily. Ice cream melts.
Oh dear, oh me.
Sloppy.
Carry on.
About ready to get their second term underway. Northern Territory Thunder 1-5-11 lead. The Geelong Cats 2 behinds. As we're underway once again. Through the middle, taking it away is Purcell. Got the handball across to Morrison. Inside attacking 50 for Geelong. Starting the second term the way they started the first with a quick entry inside attacking 50. Clifford goes to ground. Thunder hurried handball away from the contest. Wasn't effective. Morrison fighting in for it again for the Cats. Ball spills free. Marinoff now lays on the tackle. The umpire says holding the ball. So free kick going the way of Ebony Marinoff. It was a floating kick in towards Rajic in the middle. Flicks the handball out wide to Sedenry, who goes towards centre half forward with the kick. Beautiful lead. And the mark is taken by Renee Ford.
Recruited from GWS Giants. Originally played at the Coastal Titans in the WAWFL. Bit of a shank kick there. Easily intercepted by Mangan, who gave it away. And the Cats now move forward, courtesy of Purcell, towards the half-forward flank. Boyd kicked it off the carpet. Sarah Allen leading in the foot race. Boyd on her hammer. Allen went over the top of it. Boyd went to ground as well. The umpire says you got her in the back. And the Adelaide Crow player in Sarah Allen wins the free kick for the Thunder. She'll be in the back pocket near the Williamstown Road end of the ground. Looks further afield with Boyd doing jumping jacks on the spot. Gets the hurry up call. High kick towards the wing position. Cats with an opportunity. But Riley goes in for the Thunder. And it's going to be stacks on the bill, and we'll call for a ball up. Match analyst today, Katie Lambeski.
Yeah, big chance missed early there through fourth to try and set up a long kick inside 50, but chance for Geelong to kind of reboot here as Rochelle Cranston breaks from the pack.
Yeah, her handball, though, intercepted by Ebony Marinoff. Kicks it down along the boundary line, broadcast side of Stannard Stadium. Oh, Michaelia Roberts came from nowhere, takes a bounce, runs to 55, the kick inside 50, not great. And Geelong are able to take the mark and reset back pocket, broadcast side. Taking off was Anna Teague. High ball will be intercepted, and again Renee Forth takes a mark. Half forward flank on the outer side. Thunder leading by 9 points. Early stages second term on RSN Carnival and the VFL live stream. The kick is good inside 50 where Jordan Hickey takes the mark. Match analyst Lisa Roper.
Yeah, this is better work from Renee. She has patches of the game where she really fades away. And she's got a chance now to create a bit of impact and make up for the dongy kick she had before, which I think is a clanger and is counted in the stats these days.
Hickey has a shot, and again it fades. This time to the left. 1-6-12, the Northern Territory Thunder leading Geelong 2 behinds. 3 gone, second term RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au.
As Teague does the kick back into play, spots up the intended target, and Ivy goes long, out towards the half-back flank. Long kick up the line towards centre wing, brought on the City side of the ground. Awkward bouncing ball for Boyd. Can't pick it up. Darby went in there as well. Now getting spun around is Danielle Orr. Managed to get out of the traffic. Went towards centre half forward with a hand pass. Had to duck their head there, Purcell. Now going in once again is Orr. Fed it out sideways nicely to Mangan. Mangan goes to the top of the square. How does the ball bounce? The umpire has whistled for a holding decision going against the Cats, and it's going the way of the Thunder. And they'll take it off the last line of defence. That was courtesy of Barnett. Kicked it towards the pack on the half-back flank. Cleaning up the mess there was Foley, but she turned it over by giving it to Cranston. Cranston bombed it high in towards the forward line looking for Boyd. Taken away by McCormick. Dangerously close to the boundary line. One bounce and over while trying to find her intended target in Hatchard. And we'll call for a ball in on the half-back flank for the Thunder. Match analyst Katie Lembeski.
Really interesting to see that Geelong open up just a little bit more. Their skill level has improved. They moved forward pretty well there. There seems to be a recognition that they must sharpen up in attack as well, so they've looked to tighten up in there.
Morrison had a kick out the back of the contest. Bouncing ball will be patted through by Taylor Thorne for the Northern Territory Thunder. So the Cats move to 3 behinds. Thunder lead 1-6-12. We've gone 4.5 minutes in the second term. The kick down the corridor is okay. McCormick takes the mark, still inside defensive 50 for the Northern Territory. Looks to take it wide in the fourth direction. Morrison brought it to ground, followed it up. The handball went astray. Thunder have numbers to clear it off half back. Ball searching for Hatchard on the outer side between centre wing and half forward. Pokes it inside attacking 50. Goring tried to keep it in front of herself. Hickey ended up with the footy for the Thunder. Ball top of the goal square is marked by Rajic. And she will have a shot for goal on a slight angle, about 15 metres out.
I have to say she's been one of Thunder's best early on, really presenting well, really give it a good energy going forward. She should kick this from this distance.
And she does. That's her second. It's also the Northern Territory Thunder's second. They move to 2-6-18. The Cats starting to struggle a little bit on the 3 behinds. They need to click into gear.
Exactly. Again, Northern Territory Thunder needed to tighten up a little bit going forward. Big goal there for Rachel, just second of the day, but a deserved lead, you have to say. They've just been a little bit more sharper going forward, a little bit sharper with their skill level, and have to say it's a deserved lead despite some of Geelong's efforts so far.
VWFL minor semi-final here on RSN Carnival Digital Radio and on VFL.com.au. One out there by the Thunder. The hurried hand pass by Swanson turned over to Birchall. Birchall straight down the guts. Was looking for Boyd. Couldn't quite hang on to it in the contest versus Sarah Allen. Ball hit the deck. Coming in to lay the tackle though, Jasmine Hewitt. I thought it may have been holding. Umpire said no. Ball is now trapped in at centre half forward for the Cats. The umpire will call for a ball up. We've gone about 7 minutes into this second term. Umpire resets play. Waiting down for it there, Purcell. Ball got away from her. Now coming through Blakeway, being held on to. Try to get rid of the hand pass. Hatchard goes in there as well. And the umpire says there's about a dozen players around it. It's trapped. It ain't coming out. We'll call for a ball up just near the 2 circles. Match analyst Lisa Roper.
Yeah, you might have noticed Erin Hoare is actually not on. She's been getting quite a bit of treatment, I think, on an ankle injury. And it looks to me that Geelong are doing better at the stoppages without her at the ruck.
Trevine has taken the mark. Forward of the centre for the Cats. And has hit up a target inside attacking 50. The mark taken by Fogus. 45-degree angle about 40 metres out. We'll have to kick it from 45. Comes in. It won't make the distance. Comes off hands. Hits the behind post, so we will get a throw-in. Forward pocket, broadcast side of Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval. 2-6-18, the Northern Territory Thunder leading Geelong 3 behinds, approaching 8 minutes in the second term on RSN Carnival and the VFL live stream. As they try and work it clear again through Fogus, who was set upon by the defensive line, basically, of the Northern Territory Thunder, and will get a ball up inside attacking 50 for the Cats.
Crowd of around 600 here at Stannard Stadium. Bit down on yesterday's game, which had at least 2,000 to watch Collingwood and Hawthorn, but of course we do have one out-of-state side here and one side that's not from Melbourne, being Geelong, of course. As going in there, a quick hand pass out. Blake Way immediately caught at centre-half forward. We'll call for a ball up. Mind you, it was impressive 2,000 yesterday, considering the game started at 10:15 in the morning. They're all here nice and early.
Special coffee time.
As the ball is thrown up, bounced on several heads. Going through there was Marinoff, lost control of the ball. Kick towards the top of the goal square for the Cats. Knocked away by Boyd. Darby chasing after the pill with McCormack, and it will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. G'day, by the way, to Jenna McCormack's mum, Lisa, who's listening in online and watching via VFL.com.au.
What a great name.
Thanks for tuning in. Oh,
that is a special comment. Thanks, Lisa.
A little more gracious from Katie. As they are appealing for holding the ball inside attacking 50. Cranston somehow worked it clear and gets Geelong's first at the 9.5-minute mark of the second term here in the elimination semi-final. Cats 139, Thunder 2-6-18. That was a very important goal there, Lisa, for the Cats to score.
Yeah, they needed that. They had a lot of possession in their forward 50. They had to get some points on the board for it. Changes the game now. They're in it. Back in it.
Only 9 points the margin as we tick over the halfway point of the second term.
Here on RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, and rsn.net.au, as well as vfl.com.au. Granson takes it out of the contest, gives off the hand pass. Garrick, but a hurried snapping towards the middle of the ground. Purcell takes a gutsy mark. Forward of the two centre circles, decides to play on quickly. Shakes the kick, though. It'll be an opportunity for the Thunder to take it off centre half back. They cry for holding the ball. The umpire says not having it. Thanks very much. Here's the kick in towards the middle of the ground. Juggled around. Hurry kick out of there by Jordan Hickey, only for it to be intercepted. Hand pass over the top, looking for Danielle Orr. Orr put it on the left boot of the hot spot, 40 metres out. Darby jumped too early. Ball hit the deck. In goes Ivy. Tried to get a hurried hand pass to Mia Ray Clifford, who got cleaned up on the way through. Thanks for coming. Hurry kick by McCormack off the last line of defence. Hatchard goes flying through the air. Dropped it. Got the football back. Gave off the hand pass. Marinoff works sideways with the footy. Just dancing around as Ange Foley goes back to Marinoff. Put it on the left boot. Wobbly old punt. 1-2 bounces close towards the boundary line. Over and out. Seen over by Radjic. And we'll have a throw in centre wing, where it's the NT Thunder leading by 9 points. 11 minutes gone, second term.
RSN Carnival Digital Radio and the live video stream on vfl.com.au. The umpire settles himself, throws the ball back into play. Palming it down was Hatchard. Ball comes out to Cranston. Hurry kick on the boot towards Darby at half forward. Slipped through her fingers. O'Shea unable to control the footy for the Thunder. Ball is taken. Cats will have to be careful here because they dragged it in. The umpire says it's okay though. And we will ball it up. 50 out from goal for the Cats. Thunder through Marinoff. Topo kick. She got it back into her hands and then just put it into a bit of space. Foot race on. Ivy will get there first for the Cats. Sends it back inside attacking 50, a little too wide for Boyd, and it's out on the full. Free kick to go the way of the Thunder inside defensive 50. They're 2-6-18, leading Geelong 139. We're 12 gone into the second term on RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au.
Here's the big long kick that will go wide over the boundary line and out of bounds, and the umpire says on the full free kick for the Cats, city side of the ground. And Maddie Kerrick will have the footy. Former Melbourne University footballer. Kerrick, 50 metres out from goal, looking for an option. Gets on the left boot, goes in the Derby direction. 1-2, Bodge the Cherry couldn't pull it in. In goes Mia Ray Clifford at the football. Gave it off to Purcell! And puts it through for the Cats' second.
Huge goal. Excellent goal there by Geelong. You have to say that was coming too. Momentum has been their way for the best part of this quarter. They're right back into this game now, giving it right to the Northern Territory.
Purcell's starting to get a little bit of the football, and Lisa Roper. Purcell also a name being mentioned as a possible top 2 draft pick by the Cats in the AFLW draft.
Yeah, she's actually had a pretty good season for the games she's been able to play and come out quite high in some of the stats from the VFL League, and she has to be drafted.
It's already had a bit of the footy today too.
Yeah.
Cats will go forward once again. Bouncing ball. Thunder under a bit of pressure now. Send it straight down the guts and will get a mark. Through Hatchard. Feeds the handball off immediately to McCormick, who swings it wide. They've got a bit of a burst here now, the Thunder. Sedentary goes inside, attacking 50. Floating across. And unable to bring it in there was Swanson. Ball spills free out of the contest. Kerrick hovering. Is caught. Her handball swallowed by McCormick, who sends it long. Top of the goal square. Thunder player went to ground. Blakeway chasing after it. Will dribble over the boundary line and out of play. We will throw it in. A couple of metres around from the behind post for the Northern Territory Thunder, who lead now by only 3 points after a couple of quick goals from the Cats.
Spinning back into play, that football over the head there of Hewitt. The bounce was kind to her, but the kick was off cue and out of bounds on the full. So a free kick going the way of Anna Teague. Will she take it? Well, she went to go to collect the footy, and then one of her teammates said, "No, I got it. I'll have it. Thanks very much." Rebecca Goring, I think that might be the Cats captain, who happens to also be a jazz guitarist. As Goring gets on the right boot.
And a rock dog.
Well, there you are. That's information that they usually give you on Channel 7, and you're getting it here on VFL.com.au and RSN Carnival. Jason Bennett loves those stats and loves those little tidbits. Hello to Jason, if you're watching. Sure you are. As the ball has been thrown back into play, 15 minutes gone in this second term. Darby brought the ball to ground. Going in over the ball was Hickey. Astor's being held without it. Michaelia Roberts put it on the boot. Going in towards the pocket. Close towards the boundary line. Renee Forth sees it over and out while being tackled. And we'll have a throw in 10 metres around from the right-hand point post where the Thunder hold their 3-point lead.
So tick over 15 and a half minutes in the second term, which means we've got 4.5 left on the clock. Tossed back in. Floats out the back. Taken is McCormick. And the umpire says she's going to get a free kick. So a little lull falls over Stannard Stadium, North Port Oval. Crowd gradually building. Of course, it's a double header here today with Geelong taking on the Box Hill Hawks in the semi-final of the VFL a little later today. McCormick coming in. A steadier needed for the Northern Territory Thunder. And they will get it.
Very solid kick under pressure there. The challenge was thrown down to the Thunder by the Cats, who answered with 2 goals, but crucial buffer being made there as halftime draws closer. Thunder there's just that classy edge to you. It doesn't take much to hurt, and I think we just saw that there.
3-6-24, the Northern Territory move to Geelong 2-3-15. We are approaching 17 minutes in the second term on RSN Carnival Digital Radio and VFL.com.au.
Umpire throws the ball high in the air and we reset ourselves. One out there by McMahon for the Cats. Going in there first is Hatchard. Gave the hand pass off to Swanson, who pumped it long inside 50. Flying through the air there is Duggan, who brought it to ground. Trying to get in there first is Hickey. She got tackled and the umpire will circle and said she had no prior opportunity. We'll call for a ball up 50 metres out from goal. Match analyst Lisa Kiwi-Roper.
Yeah, this is a good game. I'm enjoying the battles. I have noticed that No, I haven't noticed.
Yeah, well, oh, that's going on the best of tape. As in goes Foley, kicks it around the corner.
I was going to say something, it doesn't matter.
We'll pick up on that later as the ball is close towards the pavilion. Now a hand pass over the top by Ratchet in the goal square. Easy goal to Renee Forth.
I noticed NT scoring goals.
Easy as it comes. And the NT Thunder extend their lead here at Stannard Stadium. 4-6-30. The Cats 2-3-15. 2 minutes remaining until halftime. Katie Lembeski.
A potentially deflating cold there. The Cats have thrown a lot at at the NT girls this quarter, but again, it just seems like every time that happens, every time a challenge is thrown, Northern Territory answer right back and find a way. The lead is restored back to 15 points in the last minute of the quarter.
So the Cats, after a dominant period in the midpoint of the term, look to send it towards centre half forward. Bouncing ball, awkward for Mia Ray Clifford, who slipped over at the crucial moment. Barnett's now caught for the Thunder. They somehow managed to work it clear. And they get Foley, her kick, smothered. Cats desperate on half forward. Thorne diving on it. Flicks the handball out. Thunder clearing kick. High ball in towards the middle. Now how's this paid? It's going the way of the Thunder. Now called play on. That was Sedinary who got paid the mark and will now be pinged for holding the footy. And I suggest that might be just a little bit of justice.
I think so. Isn't the rule player in front gets paid the mark?
Had a couple of them yesterday.
I think the umpire may have realised he made a blue and made a square up there as Kerrick goes long in the Derby direction. Came off her hands. Jordan Hickey there in defence. Calling for it is Cranston. They can't get it to her. They scream ball and the umpire says in your boot. Let's call for a ball up. Taylor Thorne there laying the tackle. 30 seconds to go to half time. Can the Cats pull it back to 9 points? Derby in the contest. Out to Oi. Kicked around the corner. Oh, she had it momentarily. Boyd taken away by Sarah Allen, who pumps it long for distance. Smart play. Gets across to Stevie Lee Thompson. Her kick up the line. Intercepted. 12 seconds to go. Got to get a wriggle on by the Cats. Move it to centre half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Mangan goes for the hurry kick. Looking for Mia Ray Clifford to get onto it. She overran the football. And the Thunder do have numbers. They'll clear it towards the McCormick at the half-back flank as the siren sounds to end the first half. And the NT Thunder will have a 15-point lead. 4-6-30. Geelong 2-3-15. Let's get some tunes, first of all, from the speakers above us. And let's see if we can get some thoughts together after that from Lisa Roper.
Okay, I'll tell you what I noticed. And I don't want to call it out in case NT are listening in. But Cats took Beck Goring off for, I guess, a bit of a break. And in that time, they got the 2 goals against them. And she's one of their strongest, and she says captain, but she's one of their strongest defenders and been pretty consistent all season long. Risky time to take her off, I thought.
Very risky. Especially after a dominant passage of play.
Definitely. Northern Territory just seem to have that bit of class. That is the separating factor here at the moment. Can't fault the Cats on what they've done. Taking the game right up to them, but again, it just seems like the Thunder Girls have too much in the locker for them to handle. But massive second half to come. Cats very much in this, but again, definitely the advantage goes to the Thunder.
Let's get some goal kickers at half-time. Matthew Cox.
2 to Radjic for the Northern Territory Thunder, singles to McCormick and 4th, whilst for the Cats, their 23rd player and highly touted draft pick Olivia Purcell has 1 goal. Rochelle Cranston also with a major. Sees the score at half-time. Thunder regaining control, 4-6-30, leading the Cats 2-3-15.
You're listening to Carnival on digital radio, live streaming around the world and on the RSN smartphone app. See the listening guide at rsn.net.au.
Another massive week on the Breakfast Club. It's great to have your company. If you missed any of the good stuff, here's a snippet of what we did. The Pies are in the finals. They're off to Perth on Saturday night, and they'll need all their stars up and running. One of those is Jack Crisp.
Why did Collingwood travel so well?
I don't know. I like it. Since I've been at Collingwood, I think we've always travelled pretty well. So I guess it's just maybe a confidence thing, a mental thing, and I'm not changing too much because we do travel so well.
Mark Blitzar's the Geelong champ.
I'll be playing backline. Looking forward to that. That position suited me mostly this year. We felt the last couple of weeks myself, Hendo and Harry Taylor have all worked pretty well together. So looking forward to trying to be organising that backline and let the mids go to work.
Sean Grigg from the Tigers.
Having that evidence that our game style stacks up in finals. Last year, leading up to the finals, we thought it was going to, but we didn't know. And this year, I suppose, we've got that evidence and that confidence that if we play that way and we play the way and we know we can, then it stacks up.
Alistair Cook has called time on the most prolific batting career English Test cricket has ever seen. Nick Compton, former England Test opener, was part of the journey with him.
His balance and, as a person, it was the thing that I always marvelled at, especially at times when, technique didn't look great. When you batted with him in the net, you weren't going, wow, this guy's unbelievable. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but he was someone who fought hard and had his own way. I had to marvel at how he kept making it work.
I reckon there'll be plenty of energy in Taylor Adams because he's got a final on Saturday in the West.
I'm really excited. I can't wait. The last 10 days have been really good off the back of our Freo game. Yeah, it's been really, really good build-up and looking forward to getting over to Perth.
Ron Millman, father of John, who took down Roger Federer.
We just send messages and tell him we're proud and love him and that sort of thing. But we did ask him, what the hell have you done to us? Jeez, the phone hasn't stopped.
When he got us.
I haven't retired yet. I'm not thinking like that now because I'm not at another footy club and I'm not sure if I want to play for anyone else. So the club would kind of, steering me down that direction in terms of retirement. But I don't know what I want to do, so why would I say something I don't really mean? We'll have some time to think about things whilst we're away, but I really don't know what's next.
Big surprises was to see that Caitlin Thwaites had left the Collingwood Netball Club. What happened, Caitlin?
I'm not actually kind of 100% sure there. Wasn't re-offered, so that found me in a position where I had to weigh up all my options and go into the free agency period, and it's been quite stressful.
The Breakfast Club, 6 till 8:30 weekdays on RSN 927. Thanks to the Tab. We love a bet.
Hi, I'm Lane Beachley. Cartridges for Planet Art just had its biggest year ever. On average, 13,500 printer cartridges were collected every working day. And they were all turned into useful things like pens, garden beds, even road surfaces. So thanks to everyone who recycled from home, work or school. To make the coming year even bigger, check out cartridges.planetart.org.
Children drown in portable pools every year in Australia. Others are hospitalised because of non-fatal drowning incidents. Young children can easily topple in, and drowning is silent and happens quickly. Royal Lifesaving and Consumer Affairs agencies across Australia are reminding people to take important safety steps like active supervision of kids in and around portable pools. The question is, can you make it safe? For more information and simple safety tips, visit royallifesaving.com.au/make-it-safe.
Got a big game this weekend? Here's where to meet up. The Mail Exchange Hotel, just 5 minutes walk from Etihad. Ales, wine, superb food and tab terminals. The Mail Exchange Hotel where footy fans meet up. Corner of Burke and Spencer Street City. Right opposite the steps at Southern Cross Station.
Hey guys, I'm Jess. And I'm Lisa from the Veronicas for RAD. Recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. What does it mean to be a designated driver? It means you're the friend who's agreed not to drink, not the person who's had the least to drink. It's cool to do and it shows you care about your friends. If you screw up just once, then your life changes forever. Face it, their lives are in your hands. So why don't you and your friends take it in turns to be the designated driver when you go out? You'll make the road safer for all of us.
Talking Horses with Joe McKinnon.
We're working our way towards the breeding season, talking about new sires and the old favourites as breeders look for the edge. Plus, our watch on the big results from the Northern Summer. And we'll keep an eye on the equestrian world.
Talking Horses, Sunday from 7 a.m. on RSN 927. Presented by Darley's 2018 Stallion roster. Now including 4-time Group 1 winner Ribchester. Bring your dream to life at darley.com.au.
Nadia Horn and RSN 927's winners.
The winners team provides you with informative and engaging form analysis. Mondays, Matt Welsh reviews Saturday's racing. Tuesdays, Warren Huntley and Rob Nicholson with Flemington and Caulfield track work reports. Wednesdays, Dean Lester and Warren Huntley with the midweek preview. And every day the tab will take us through the big market changes.
Winners.
Weekday mornings from 10:30.
On RSN 927. Thanks to Tab, we love a bet.
Come and see the bigger, better Bayswater Jayco. Check the brilliant range of caravans and campers, new and pre-loved. There's finance to get you on the road, repairs and service from the experts, including insurance work, and an accessory shop with all the essentials, gadgets and extras. Bayswater Jayco really has got it all. All you have to think of is where to go. Bigger, better Bayswater Jayco. Canterbury Road, Bayswater.
This is the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, and rsn.net.au. This is the Swiss Walters VFL Women's Match of the Day. It is the minor semi-final at Stannard Stadium between the NT Thunder and the Geelong Cats. And the score at half-time says the Thunder are 4-6-30, leading Geelong 2-3-15. Peter Holden, Matthew Cox, Katie Lambeski and Lisa Roper with you in commentary. Crowd at the moment has built to probably about 1,000 people. To be honest, Katie was actually probably expecting a bit more because Geelong are actually part of a double-header today. Their VFL men's are playing Box Hill in the semi-final straight after.
We can, well, perhaps as this quarter goes on, we can have more Geelong fans come out here. The Geelong Army, a very loud and passionate group of fans down there. Get out here, come support your team. You've got a great group here playing well. And he's also preparing for AFLW as well, so get on down here and support the girls.
Yeah, going to be a top of 18 degrees today, so hopefully they'll make their ways down soon, even though a bit of a cool breeze. Lisa, the one thing as well, which will be interesting when we see the second half, is how Paul Hood responds with his team, not only from the players' perspective out there on the ground, but the coaching perspective, to give a bit of a hint to his coaching style for when he takes the reins for AFLW in 2019.
Yeah, I think at the moment it's hard to see one team taking more dominance over the other in the way that they've set up their game structures. Like yesterday's game, you could tell that Hawthorn's plan was just to... who are they playing?
Collingwood.
Collingwood, yeah, sorry. Hawthorn was just to beat Collingwood to the outside. And they did that pretty consistency throughout the game. Every time they won the ball, they just beat them to the outside. And today, I guess it looks like there's both coaches are backing their processes, but it's hard to really see what their structures.
As the umpires come out onto the ground, I know we're only halfway through this match, but from the quarters of football I've seen so far, Hawthorn do look like they're standing head and shoulders above the rest at the moment, based on the performance we're seeing so far this weekend. Yeah,
and I think they played a very strong, clean football style yesterday. They've got some talented players in their team that seem to link together. I think what you've got here is with the Northern Territory team, there's a lot of quality players, but they've actually used 54 players on their list this year, which is, I think, the highest in the VFL level.
By about 4, Collingwood were 50.
Yeah, so when you should only use a list of 40, like good teams like Darwin. But I think for them, being that some are based in Darwin, some are in Adelaide, it's probably their challenges coming together and bringing that continuity and getting to know each other and playing well together. So it's a lot of players to learn how each player plays in each kind of pressure situation. So I don't know, Cats could use that against them.
Now, I don't want to rub it in, but I know some supporters of the other clubs that don't follow Darabin will love it, but for Darabin, unfortunately, you just fell short of finals this year. And it's the first time you've missed finals, I think, since about 2005, I think, possibly. Because from 2005 to 2017, Darabin were in every grand final, taking 10 of 13 grand finals.
Yeah, I have been a little educated on the stats throughout the years and the history at the club. And it's a solid history. They've done very well in being the only women's club around that is so large and being able to dominate as well as they've done. Newtown Breakaways in Sydney is similar, but they've been a single team for so long. They've had 2 teams for the last few years, but they haven't really. They're starting now to bridge a gap with the junior side. So Darabin have got juniors right through. Their under-18s went to their grand final this season. I think they actually lost the grand final. But they go right down to the Oz kickers. So, the future for Darebin is still there. I think what we found hard was with all our quality players under the point system, we were only allowed 106 points, whereas all these other teams get 114. And with an AFLW player worth 6 points, that's an extra one of them you get to put on the field. And some of our players, we've got a chunk that are worth 5 points that haven't played AFLW level. So that kind of makes choosing a side each week very challenging. So I think most weeks we were only able to use 7 or 8 players, AFLW players.
Because if I'm correct, they re-twigged the point system because the year before the point system, you got discounted for the more years that you played. The problem was Darebin had all the AFLW talent because they'd all been loyal to the club for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, respectively.
Yep, exactly, and we didn't get that reward this year. And I think that is a real shame because it penalises the history of what VFL's done is penalise those players that have stayed loyal to their clubs. In Sydney, they still do it. So, you start your clubs and, you get deducted a point for each year you're there. So it encourages the teams, I think, to develop players rather than go and poach good players from other teams. So
well, the idea I had, but this has all obviously changed because we've now introduced new teams compared to last year. The idea I had at that stage, not to penalise Darebin and the Melbourne Unis, etc., but to try and find some balance, was to make what I call a AFLW recruiting cap, such as if you have over, for example, 10 AFLW players, you wouldn't be able to recruit another AFLW player until all other clubs get to, say, that 10 mark. And once they get to that 10 mark, then you're free to recruit again to try and... So therefore you wouldn't lose players, but if, for example, I know Marinoff obviously played for Darebin last year, under my theory would have been, Marinoff, you can come over, but because, Melbourne Uni, Darebin, Diamond Cricket all hit that cap, sorry, but you've got to go look for another club because they've reached a certain point to try and spread the talent from elsewhere. But obviously if a player was at Darebin and then became an AFLW player, they could stay there because that's their homegrown club. So you don't penalise the development aspect as well.
Yeah, and for our girls at our club, they also go and spend a lot of time with our Div 1 girls and our Div 2 and then our junior girls. So they actually are real club players, so they should get some reward for staying at the club.
I just want to do a quick plug while Geelong are in position and the NT Thunder have now just broken from their huddle, but the Sydney Women's Premier Division Grand Final happens next week. If I'm correct, Macquarie University versus the UNSW Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs.
Yes, I'm very torn. Played a few seasons at Macquarie Uni and won a premiership with them back in 2013. And as we all, actually, there's a bunch of us with playing Guernseys that say we're still celebrating since 2013. And last year I joined the coaching panel at Bulldogs, so I know a whole heap of those players and good mates with Tracy Kick, who will be in her 3rd consecutive final with the Bulldogs. So I will be in Sydney next week and cheering both teams on. It's the winner on the day is going to be football.
To get us underway for the 3rd term, here's Matthew Cox.
6:30, the Northern Territory Thunder. Thanks, Pete. 2-3-15, the Cats. As the Thunder will work it clear. McCormick got a kick away just as she got grabbed. The umpire says it was touched off the boot, so play on. Foley tried to kick it off the carpet. Fell into the hands of Darby, who sends it back towards centre half forward. Roberts takes it. Thorne unable to take possession of it. Now Cranston sends the ball inside, attacking 50. Boyd, just bounced awkwardly for her. Mopping up now Allen for the Northern Territory Thunder. Morrison cuts it off, steadies at 40 metres out. Nina Morrison hits the woodwork. Minor score to get us underway in the second half. Geelong 2-4-16, Northern Territory Thunder 4-6-30. Approaching 1 minute in the 3rd term on RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, rsn.net.au, and today the live stream via vfl.com.au.
Sarah Allen to kick in from fullback. I just noticed Abby Holmes is running the water today for the NT Thunder. And I think it's doing the boundary riding probably later for 7. As the kick is intercepted by Maddie Kerrick. Kerrick, 50 metres out, on the left boot, goes long towards the top of the square, through the hands of Boyd. Waiting out the back was Ivy, taken away there by Ebony Marinoff with a hurry kick, goes towards the boundary line and out of bounds. Will call for a throw in front of the pavilion, the brand new, when I say brand new pavilion, it's only been around for 2 or 3 years here at Northport, compared to the Norm Goss stand, who's probably been here for about 60 or 70. 4-6-30 the Thunder, 2-4-16 the Cats. 1.5 minutes gone. 3rd term. Geelong attacking to the left of screen for those watching on vfl.com.au. Ball is back into play. Hewitt wins it down, gets the ball back, feeds it out to the player in Swanson. Kicks it in the Michaelia Roberts direction. Ball got away from her. Opportunity here for Trevine. Over around the football. Umpire's blown the whistle and said there's a bit of holding going on there, and it's going to be a free kick to the way of the Cats.
So centre wing out of side. A little stutter there from McMahon. Pops the ball up towards half forward. The umpire says there's holding, and a free kick will go the way of the Cats. Boyd has the ball about 60 from home. In front of the scoreboard that says 4-6-30. Northern Territory Thunder, Geelong 2-4-16. High ball inside 50. Unable to take it there was Orr. Under pressure now, Birchall goes to ground. The umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up. Our match analyst today, Lisa Roper.
Yeah, Geelong have started this quarter like they did at the very beginning of the game, so this time they just hopefully they've learnt and get some more goals on the board and make sure there's pressure.
Trying to go through heavy traffic there. Street lost control of the ball. Marinoff get the hand pass out. Now to Foley, who gave the don't argue. Shrugged the second tackle. Then put it on the right. Was going in the Jordan Hickey direction. Ball bounced away from her. Cats will clean it up. Boyd now on the right boot. Kicking the ball inboard. In the centre of the ground. McCormack intercepts. Gives the hand pass to Doug. And umpire says, bit of holding going on there. To McCormack, you can have a free kick. And she does so in the centre of Stannard Stadium, better known as North Port Oval, the home of the Port Melbourne Borough. Kicks it towards the half-forward flank. Whoop, through the hands there. The player that couldn't control it in, I think it was fourth. Hand pass backwards. The Cats try to keep the ball alive. Kerrick under pressure, dropped the pill. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. 60 metres out from the Thunder goal. Match analyst today, Katie Lambeski.
Promises to be an exciting half. Thunder might need to find another gear here as Geelong have started really well. The challenge has been laid down again. It's just up to the Thunder to answer it.
Darby doing the ruck over the top of Hewitt. Kerrick soccering it off the ground. It was plucked though by McCormack. Got a handball across to Lisa Roberts, who got dispossessed. Now Boyd, her hot handball, and then got cut off as she went back in after it. Roberts trying to extract it. But the Thunder won't be able to and will get a ball up. Centre wing broadcast side, 4-6-30. The Thunder lead the Cats 2-4-16. 4.5 gone in the third term. Cranston shovels it out. Marinoff, though, picked it up, gave the handball off quickly, and the Thunder clear it towards half forward. Taken, though, by Blake way under pressure. Oh, she's caught. Unable to get the kick away in time, and a free kick will go the way of Foley on centre wing.
Ange Foley, captain of the Thunder, swings around on the right, pumps it inside 50. Long high ball over the head of Hickey. Couldn't find fourth. Ball close towards the boundary line. And the umpire will call for a ball up. The ball's just in play. Holding onto it there for the Cats, Elise Coventry.
Sorry, Pete. Just spotting the Collingwood coach just off this contest.
Penicula Reid.
Sitting down behind the picket fence.
Hard to hide that hair colour, isn't it?
Stands out through the binoculars.
Penny, of course, played here a couple of years ago in a preliminary final for the St Kilda Sharks against Melbourne Uni. As the ball is thrown back into play. Over the head of Darby. Cranston tried to knock it forward. Swanson over the top of the ball. Hewitt was looking around. In goes Marinoff. Has to scrap for it. But it's all locked in and we'll call for another ball up. 45 metres out from the Thunder goal. They lead 4-6-30. Geelong 2-4-16. 5 minutes gone in this third term.
Ball up inside the Thunders, attacking 50. Michaelia Roberts unable to take possession of it. Ball spills out. The kick from Streeter was smothered. The umpire's going to have to come in and sort this out. Centre half forward for the Northern Territory Thunder. They are 4-6-30. Geelong 2-4-16. 6 gone, third term. RSN Carnival and the VFL live stream. Morrison, clearing kick for the Cats. Bounced past Ivy, taken here by Allen for the Thunder. Kicks it out wide, searching for Foley. Oh, she was a sitting duck as Morrison came in and collected her. The umpire says it's a push. And a free kick will go the way of Foley. Centre wing, outer side here at Port Melbourne. She chips it down towards the half-forward flank. Clean bowled everyone and should dribble over the boundary line and out of play at half-forward for the Thunder. Our match analyst today, Katie Lambeski.
Yeah, chance for Thunder to kind of really push on here. Need a couple goals just to kind of see Geelong off. chance is now is they've got a ball in their attacking area, so keep on attacking.
Hewitt versus Derby. Both rucks missed the ball. Ball bounced awkwardly. Taken away by Kerrick. Kicks it up towards centre wing. Danielle Orr takes it, spins around on the left boot, comes in board to Ivy. Jordan Ivy elects to play on. Kicks it long in the Mia Ray Clifford direction. She was from behind. Taken it front by Barnett. It brought it to ground. Mia Ray Clifford went in, gave the hand pass off. Running off through is Birchall. Birchall from 15 metres out gets it for the Cats.
Very well played. They went coast to coast there, took it on through the middle of the ground and got their reward. Caught a Northern Territory defender out there through the middle, basically in no man's land. Worked the ball forward and got the result as well. So huge goal for Geelong just to get back into this, just to keep the pace with Northern Territory.
7.5 minutes gone, third term. Geelong 3-4-22, NT Thunder 4-6-30. Match analyst Lisa Roper.
Yeah, something had to change. You know, that quarter started identical to the beginning of the game where we had Geelong attacking. They got no score on the board, went down to NT. Something changed. Geelong's run the ball, quick hands, which is what they've done really well this season. Now they've got the reward from it.
As McCormick sweeping out of the ruck contest. Oh, Cranston almost had the intercept, then got dealt with. The umpire says she'll get the free kick. Attacking side of centre, Rochelle Cranston for the Cats. Long ball inside, attacking 50. Out the back, they've got the mark. Taken by Danielle Orr, directly in front, about 20 metres out.
Lots of respect to the way the Cats are plugging away here. Lots to admire from Paul Hood's team. Again, just that quick play, just to really get it going. Fantastic to watch.
To bring it back within 2 points. Orr has her first. The Cats have their fourth. And the pressure now sits back on the Northern Territory Thunder's shoulders. They're 4-6-30. Cats move to 4-4-28. 9 gone third term. RSN Carnival and the VFL.com.au live stream, Lisa.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of looking at Nat over in the box next to us, the coach of Geelong, and she was looking extremely calm through that quarter, and even when the ball went into their defensive line, she was very calm. So clearly she knew they had something brewing, and here it goes.
Jenna McCormack tries to get a hand pass over the top. It was picked off by Kerrick, who got caught in heavy traffic, got rid of the football. Derby had to get rid of it like it was a hot spot, but stolen by Marinoff. Marinoff went inside 50 with a kick. It's a bouncing football. Chasing after it and getting collared at the same time was Blakeway, who got a hurry kick away. Gained about 30 metres, went over the boundary line and out of bounds. 60 metres out from the NT Thunder goal. City side of the ground will reset for the throw-in. Derby to go in the ruck versus Jasmine Hewitt. Umpire taking his time. Throws the ball back into play. Derby wins the tap. Marinoff first to it. Can't control it though. Purcell was on her hammer. Hand pass backwards. Dropping it like a hot spud. Hewitt again, who tried to chase up her own footy. Geelong moved the ball forward. Heading in the Ivy direction. Getting to it first is Bishop, and she escorts the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. Centre wing, city side of the ground. Here on RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, and rsn.net.au.
And the live video stream through VFL.com.au. We're 10.5 minutes into the third term, and it's the Thunder by 2 points. Derby and Hewitt. Derby tries to follow up the ruck work. Marinoff coming through, her kick partially smothered. Morrison, her kick also partially smothered. Kick's getting smothered left, right and centre at the moment. Centre wing out of side. No one able to get clean takeaway from it. Again, it ricochets off a couple of players. A little bit of a bump applied for the Cats. Wasn't effective. Ball lands in the hands of Marinoff. High ball in the Rajic direction. Unfortunately unable to take control of the footy, and we will throw it in half forward flank on the outer side. Match analyst today, Katie Lambeski.
The handball run and carry game of Geelong has been a real standout. I think they've put the onus back on the Thunder. They've almost played them at their own game. They've dared them to fight back, and again, it's made for a really intriguing quarters. The difference is only 2 points.
Darby versus Hatchard. Hatchard wins it. Couldn't chase up the ball. Momentarily with focus. Knocked out of her hands, though. 25 metres out from the Thunder goal. Cats under pressure. Hand pass over the top to Cranston, who gave it off to Purcell. Purcell's kick was smothered. Pack quickly forms. Half-back flank here for the Cats. They just managed to smack the ball forward. Volley tried to put on the pressure, but came away with a footy was Kerrick. Kerrick went in the Mia Ray Clifford direction on centre wing. Does the shepherding work. Has a teammate over the ball and Boyd fed it out, but Thunder do have the numbers here. Kicked off the carpet by Darby was the smart decision. Got it towards the half-forward flank. All was on the ground. Looked for the hand pass. It ricocheted around like it was in a pinball machine. Coming on over the top as Lisa Roberts to lay the tackle. And the umpire will call for a ball up. 70 metres out from the Cats goal. Attacking left of screen for those watching on the video stream via VFL.com.au. Darby goes up, does the ruck work, knocked it down, straight into heavy traffic. Right on the bottom of the deck there, holding onto it is Hayley Trevine, and the umpire will call for another ball up. Lisa Roper.
Yeah, I've noticed Hoare is still not returned to the field, so I'd say if she's spending that much time, she's maybe gone for the game, but hasn't really impacted Geelong around the stoppages or any of these ball ups.
Dare I say they're a little bit more mobile?
Yeah, I think they're doing a much better job.
O'Shea with the ball in her hands, inside defensive 50 for the Northern Territory Thunder. A lead of 2 points, 13 gone, third term. The kick towards the wing, ineffective. Cranston flicked the handball over the top. Ivy under pressure, got the ball forward. Cats, long searching ball, vacant goal square, didn't bounce the right way and will be rushed through for a minor score, which means it's a 1 point ball game here at Stannard Stadium, North Port Oval. 4:6:30 the Thunder. Cats 4:5:29, 13 and a half minutes gone, third term.
Short kick to Emma Swanson, takes the mark 30 out from defensive goal, then gets on the right boot, looking in the direction of Sedentary, went over her head. Cats are going to clean up here on the left boot and propping it long as Woollett. Goes inside 50 with the kick, was trying to find the Boyd direction, knocked away from her. Taking a bounce there is McCormack, who got away from Danielle Orr. Then her kick worked out okay in the end towards the wing position, taken there by Ratchet, who got it quickly off to Stevie Lee Thompson. Not much on inside 50. Everyone's chasing after the football. Foot race there. Goring is trying to get back there for the catch. He's caught by Michaelia Roberts. Crash of bodies. 15 metres out from goal. Roberts wants to go again. Pickpockets them on the left for the Thunder. Michaelia Roberts is going to get charged with theft for that. And they extend the lead by 7 points here at Stannard Stadium in Port Melbourne. The Thunder 5-6-36, Geelong 4-5-29. Katie Lembeski.
They needed to find something special, did the Thunder, and they did in really spectacular fashion there. Brilliant goal to see there. And more importantly, gives the Thunder a handy little buffer of 7 points here at the moment. Again, Geelong aren't going to go away. Thunder needs to keep at it.
So, back in the middle. And it's being trapped in by Hatchard. It's extracted for the Cats, who flick it forward on the lead. Unable to bring it in with Stevens. Ball crashes to the bottom of the deck. Boyd unable to get rid of it. The umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up. 45 metres out from goal for the Cats. As it's smacked forward by Darby. Ivy trying to evade the tackle from O'Shea. She was able to do that. Pops it up, top of the goal square. There's a mark. Cats have the mark, and it's Birchall directly in front, 15 metres out.
I just want to point out this time, if she makes it 1 point the difference, obviously a quarter to go. If it is a draw at the end of the game, we play extra time, 2 5-minute quarters.
Surely not. Surely not today, Pete.
He's put it out there at the 15-minute mark of the third term. Gone early, Pete. As Birchall comes in and puts it straight over the top of the goal umpire's hat. That's her second, and it's back to 1 point here at Stannard Stadium, North Port Oval.
Both teams going blow for blow here at the moment, exchanging goals, really going at it. Fantastic football to watch. Everyone here at North Port has been in for a real treat, so let it continue. Massive last quarter coming up right now, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Lisa Roper.
Yeah, I think you can't knock the importance of that leg drive through the midfield and a penetrating kick, and that's what Geelong have done a few times now and really caught the NT defence off guard.
Purcell put her head over the ball, was one out by Foley. Umpire spotted something off the ball here and going to give a free kick the way of the Cats. And taking the football, as was taken away from her, is Megan Fogas. So Fogas has the footy just to the side of the two centre circles. Leads her on. Mia Clifford was pushing up the ground, so it's Cranston, and she's kicked it into the player on the mark, and Emma Swanson. That's a coach killer. Puts it out towards the centre wing position. Still in dispute. Darby kicked around the corner, trying to gain. Pardon me, was Ivy that kicked around the corner to gain some ground. Picked off by Purcell. Purcell now goes towards half forward, looking for Trevine. Went through her hands. Chasing after it is Mia Clifford. Went to ground. Trevine got the football back. On hand pass. Get the hurry kick away was Ivy. She got knocked over. Hurried hand pass by Ann Hatchard. Under pressure. 45 out from defensive goal. Thunder trying to move it towards their half-back flank. Unsuccessful. Putting her head over the ball there, Nina Morrison. Now the hurry kick by the Cats inside 50. Getting back there to take a mark is Lisa Roberts. Elects to play on quickly. Roberts in front of the scoreboard. Spots up her intended target in Mebini Marinoff, who just says, let's calm things down a little bit. 2 minutes to play in the quarter.
Goes down along the outer side. The kick didn't go the distance. Ivy trying to apply the pressure. McCormick, though, clearing for the Thunder. It's swallowed, though, by the Cats. Defensive side of the outer wing. 2 minutes left on the clock in the third term. It's a 1 point ball game in favour of the Thunder. McCormick flicked the handball across to Nalda. Centre wing, outer side. Dodging traffic. She sends it towards half forward. Taking the mark. No, said the umpire. Pearce doing the work. Quickly whacked it on the boot. Bouncing. Taken by Ivy. And they all stopped because they thought it went over the boundary line. The umpire, a little late on the whistle, says it did. We'll throw it in. Centre wing on the outer side. 18 and a half minutes gone, third term. 5-6-36 plays 5-5-35. The Thunder just with their noses in front.
And Darby, ball knocked away from her. Purcell racks up another possession. Got bowled over. She got her kick away. And that meant it went backwards. Now having to pick it up and try and clean up the mess is Blakeway. Got around the tackler. Then kicked it out towards the centre wing position. Mia Clifford came chasing after the football. Barnett on her hammer. Did okay to get it to Kerrick. Had to get a hurried hand pass away. Only to be partially intercepted there by the player in Jeffrey. She went to ground. So did the Cats player. In jump Swanson as well. Coming in over the top, Hannah Mangan. And the umpire will have no choice but to call for a ball up. Match analyst Katie Lembeski.
Good umpiring there to try to let it flow, let the teams try break away in the last minute here. Quick kick for Geelong will do them wonders.
Going up in the contest, Hatchard knocked the ball forward. Going after it is Hayley Trevine. She's immediately wrapped up by the tackling machine in Ebony Marinoff, and will call for another ball up.
Centre wing grandstand side here at Stannard Stadium, North Port Oval. Ball being pushed towards the boundary line, and that'll do it. So we'll enter three-quarter time with the Thunder 1 point in front in this elimination semi-final. They're 5-6-36. The Cats, big turn from them, 5-5-35. As the umpire tosses it back into play, the siren should sound. As kicking it out on the full is Hatchard. Three-quarter time. Big term from the Cats. They kicked 3-2 in that term to just 1 goal from the Northern Territory Thunder. Katie Lembeski.
Needed a big quarter and the Cats got it. So fantastic effort. They took the game right back on, made the Thunder defend, put the onus back on them and put goals on the board. I think easily by far it's the best quarter of the game. It's the premiership quarter for a reason, I guess. So massive last quarter set up by a great quarter by the Cats, and we'll see if the Thunder have just a bit more in the locker to fire.
And Lisa, close result so far this weekend here at Stannard Stadium. We saw yesterday Hawthorn only win by 11 points, and in the men's game immediately afterwards, Essendon beat Richmond by just 5 points. We're in for another classic here at Port Melbourne.
Yeah, it seems to be the field for it. It's a nice patch of grass to play some close footy and have a nice little slide around. I've noticed the tensions are rising a little bit between the girls, and there's a few little back elbows and little hits off the ball. So clearly both teams are showing that passion that's also prevalent on this field.
And the reality is, for one team, this is their last quarter of the season.
That's it. And what I can see is is Northern Territory have got a very good short kicking game, and they actually dominate stats for their short kicks and accuracy, and they're getting to pop off maybe one or two and then forced to go long, and that's when Geelong are picking off the ball. And I think, you know, most coaches will call that a low possession pass, and I think today that's been the difference when they go forward, is they're relying on this low possession pass, and Geelong are getting the ball and being able to run it back nice and quickly, and use some penetrating kicks or using the quick hands, and that's how they're sort of countering the attack that Northern Territory are bringing to them.
Let's take a look at the goal kickers at three-quarter time. Matthew Cox.
The Northern Territory Thunder, Rajic with 2, and then singles to Michaelia Roberts, McCormick, and 4th. Whilst for the Cats, 2 goals to Hannah Birchall and singles to Orr, Purcell and Cranston. Sees the score at three-quarter time. The Northern Territory Thunder, 5-6-36, leading the Cats, 5-5-35. Final term up next on RSN Carnival and the VFL live stream.
You're listening to Carnival on digital radio, live streaming around the world, and on the RSN smartphone app. See the listening guide at rsn.net.au.
It's Anna Mears winning gold.
Hey, I'm Anna Mears. Winning gold at the Olympics was an incredible feeling, and having my biggest rival, who I'd just beaten, right up next to me and lift my hand in victory topped off an amazing moment. We'd had our fair share of clashes over the years, but in the end we both respected each other, and that's what really counts in sport. Be gracious in victory and in defeat. To keep your sport inclusive, safe and fair, go to playbytherules.net.au.
Oh, hi, I'm Maria from Sesame Street.
And Elma's Elma.
And we're here to talk about driveways. Driveways can be dangerous for children.
Or little red monsters.
So it's important for parents to always watch their children around them.
Yeah, driveways are for cars, not for play.
That's right, Elmo. Play only in safe places away from driveways because people in cars may not see you.
Elmo sees you, Maria. Tag, you're it.
Here I come, Elmo. Remember, driveways are like roads. Always supervise, separate, and see. Learn more at kidsafevic.com.au.
Every day, in many ways, the Royal Flying Doctor Service takes the finest care to Australia's furthest corners so that all Australians can enjoy the best of health. The Royal Flying Doctor Service has been taking care of Australians for over 80 years. But we still need your help to continue providing emergency rescue and essential health care to remote and rural communities. Make a donation or become a supporter and help keep the Flying Doctor flying.
Nadia Horn and RSN 927's winners.
The winners team provides you with informative and engaging form analysis. Mondays, Matt Welsh reviews Saturday's racing. Tuesdays, Warren Huntley and Rob Nicholson with Flemington and Caulfield track work reports. Wednesdays, Dean Lester and Warren Huntley with the midweek preview. And every day the tab will take us through the big market changes.
Winners.
Weekday mornings from 10:30.
On RSN 927. Thanks to Tab. We love a bet.
You can talk with Father Gerard Darling.
Welcome to the Family Counsellor Program. It's great to be with you, wherever you are.
We all need a helping hand.
It's always great to come in here, spend these 2 hours with you as you listen.
And a friendly voice is just a phone call away.
Ian's on the line.
Hi, Gerard.
The Family Counsellor Program. We all need someone to talk to. Sunday nights from 10. On RSN 927.
Am I on the air?
Presented by Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
This is the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On RSN Carnival Digital Radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, rsn.net.au, click on Digital Radio, and via the VFL.com.au video stream. This is the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Minors semi-final. It is a thriller at three-quarter time. The Thunder lead by a solitary point, 5-6-36 to Geelong, 5-5-35. Geelong have broken from their huddle and about to run back to their positions. Last-minute words by Tim Weatherald in the huddle for the NT Thunder. Wow, Katie Lambeski, who do you think's going to win it from here?
I have to say the Thunder. I just think there's that greater class that needs to find that back again to see this off, but you have to favour the experienced Thunder girls.
Thoughts from the probable IC 2020 coach for New Zealand Women's. Kiwi, who do you think's going to win?
Well, if Geelong keep the intensity that they just had in that quarter, and they're running with the wind this quarter, so that could be their advantage.
And when people wonder, what the heck am I talking about, IC 2020, that's the next AFL International Cup, by the way, in 2020. And they're hopeful that New Zealand will enter a women's side. Reigning champions at the moment, Ireland. They beat Canada last year. And hello, by the way, to those listening around the world, including over in Europe, particularly the AFL London Women's League. And they've got their Euro Cup coming up in the nine-a-side Euro Cup coming up in October. And also that same weekend, October 13 and 14 in the United States, the US AFL have got their nationals happening in Racine, Wisconsin. Reigning champions in Division 1 being the San Francisco Iron Maidens. Reigning champions in Division 2 being the Portland Sockeyes Philadelphia Hawk combination.
Are they roller derby teams?
No, that's the actual names of women's footy sides in the USAFL. To get us underway for the fourth quarter, here's Matthew Cox.
Final term here at Stannard Stadium. 1 point lead to the Northern Territory Thunder. Marinoff with the ball in her hands, flicks it out. They get it to Michaelia Roberts, who copped one high, and a free kick will go the way of the Thunder in the middle. 5-6-36 plays 5-5-35. Roberts chips it short. Doesn't go the required distance, so Marinoff had to quickly get it on her boot. Inside 50, Hickey. Bobbling ball being held to her. McMahon able to get the handball out. Kerrick off half back, got the handball across to her teammate, who just popped it straight up into the air and straight back down to earth. Fed out there from Willett. Darby, her kick smothered. A lot of pressure half forward flank broadcast side as Jeffrey's unable to extract it for the Thunder. Trevine holding it close to her chest. A minute into the final term here on RSN Carnival and the VFL.com.au live stream.
One out by Hewitt, put it straight down the throat of Hatchard, who had to get rid of the ball. Roberts also lost control of it. In goes Darby, body count on the way through. Hurried hand pass out by Wooler. Quickly got it across to Kerrick, who kicked it forward only to be intercepted. Taken away by Stevie Lee Thompson. Going inside 50 with a kick. A little bit of pushing and a shoving. McDonald chasing after it for the Cats. Got to try and get away from Centenary, who moans her down. Had support though. Another player ripped off the football. Umpire throws the hands in the air. Says just let it play on. Now across McMahon, who had to go towards the half-back flank. Looking for Kerrick. Takes the mark in front of the scoreboard, where it's a 1 point lead to the Thunder. Works it up. Trying to find their way towards centre wing. The Cats on the city side of the ground. Trevine lost control of it. In goes McCormack for the Thunder, gets the hand pass back, having to put on the afterburners. Sarah Allen goes towards the half-forward flank. Her kick was trying to find Hatchard, but it went out of bounds on the full free kick to the Cats.
And to take it will be Anna Teague. Half-back flank underneath the scoreboard. 2 minutes into the final term. 5-6-36 plays 5-5-35. Borderwald, the centre wing. It's all Thunder. Allen. High up and under kick. Darby let it fall at her shins. She kept going and now has support from Morrison, who's tackled by Marinoff. The umpire says we're going nowhere and I'll ball it up. Match analyst today, Katie Lambeski.
Very interesting to see the Cats holding firm so far in this quarter. A few early entries inside 50 by the Thunder, but Cats standing firm, which is a positive sign early on.
Tap one down. Marinoff again applies the clamp and will get another ball up. Defensive side of the outer wing for the Cats. Thunder win the tap down. Morrison for Geelong got it to Kerrick, who goes further afield with the kick, trying to get it to Ivy. Ball is seen over and out of play. We'll throw it in now, attacking side of the broadcast wing for Geelong. Also our match analyst today, Lisa Roper.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the setup this quarter's going to be. Both teams, they know the desperation. Whoever loses is out, so last 20 on the line.
Hurry kick away by Stevie Lee Thompson, goes towards the half-forward flank position. Foot race on here. Gary just nudged off the football. Going in there is Radjic for the Thunder. All locked in, will call for another ball up. 3.5 minutes gone on the final term. The winner plays Collingwood next week in the preliminary final. Hawthorn already won their way through to the grand final in 2 weeks' time at Docklands. Quick hand pass out. Swanson, kick around the corner. Looking in the direction of and taking it, and Hatchard. Hatchard now goes long! You can hear the crowd. And the Thunder extend their lead by 7 points. Here at Stannard Stadium in Port Melbourne. Our effects mic works now, by the way. 6-6-42. Geelong 5-5-35. It would have helped if someone didn't unplug it earlier, and it wasn't me. Yeah. Lisa Roper.
It wasn't me. I was with my coffee.
Match analyst, we'll get your thoughts on the game besides me and the plug.
All up in the middle. Thunder with a bit of breathing room now. 7 points. Cats, though, attacking. Ball inside, attacking 50. Mia Ray Clifford chasing after it with Barnett on her hammer. Boundary line beats all comers. And we will throw it in forward pocket broadcast side for the Cats. They're 5-5-35, trailing the Northern Territory Thunder 6-6-42. Approaching 5 minutes in the final term on RSN Carnival Digital Radio and the live video stream on VFL.com.au. Ball back down, Thorne, clearing kick, gobbled up by Fogus, it's paid. So 50 metres out from goal broadcast side, Fogus pops it up, top of the goal square, contest, off hands, Marinoff, clearing kick, Foley takes the mark, half-back flank. Wheels around, it's a long ball into the middle, risky, Morrison got a hand to it, spills out, she picks it up, does Morrison, flicks the handball over the top to Orr, who sends it inside, attacking 50 and hits up Rochelle Cranston on the lead, 40 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
Lisa Roper, how massive would this be if Cranston kicks the goal?
Oh, look, I'd back her in. I think she's got a good range, and that was an outstanding mark she just took too, a little bit off balance, it over her head.
She kicks it from just within the paint. From just within the paint, Rochelle Cranston gets her second. And it's back to a 1-point ball game here at Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval.
It's my first time seeing Rochelle Cranston live and in living colour this season at VFL level. And I have to say, she looks in phenomenal shape. And you have to think that's such a great role model kind of behaviour. You just look at the improvements she's made in, you know, her body, and just look at the shape that she's in. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure that works wonders around the playing group as well. It's an inspiration in itself and shots in a massive goal like that. So game back on.
Umpire throws the ball up in the middle of the ground. One down by Darby. Running straight into trouble after the tackle laid on by Renee Forth. Popped out there to Jamie Woolett, who quickly threw it on the boot towards the half-forward flank. Bobbled past a few players. O'Shea was chasing after for the Thunder. Struggling to put her head over the ball. In goes Orr as well. Little toe poker out of the pack. Found Foley, who just slammed it on the boot. Heading in the Woolett direction out front. Posse against Michaelia Roberts and takes the mark. With the footy, Jamie Woolett, a former North Geelong Magpies player, looks further afield. Mia Ray Clifford was calling for it. Went in the Derby direction instead. 1-2 bites the cherry. Will the umpire pay the mark? He says too many hands on it. Involved is Stevie Lee Thompson and will reset. 50 metres out from goal. Geelong attacking. They trail by a point.
7 minutes gone, final term on RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au. Tackle applied by Hewitt. Darby ended up with the footy. Puts it inside, attacking 50. Matty Boyd out the back. Doesn't get a kind bounce.
What did I say about the draw?
Dribbles through for a minor score. He called that at the 15.5-minute mark of the third term, did Peter Holden, and it's now 6-6-42 apiece. 7.5 minutes final term, RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au. The kick back into play. Hits up Jenna McCormick.
What a thrilling minor semi-final here at Port Melbourne. Long kick towards the city side wing. Jordan Ivey put hands in there in the pack, seeing it over the boundary line and out of bounds. I think it was Rajic, and we'll have a throw in on the wing as the umpire just make sure everything was okay. Chatting to a few players. Darby wins the contest. No, Hewitt tried to get it back, got away from her. Going after it there was Purcell, being chased and pursued by Renee Forth. And we'll call for another ball in. 8.5 minutes gone in this final term, all locked up. Will we go to extra time? It'll be 5 minutes each way. Ball thrown back in. Hewitt knocked it into space. Trying to get in there is Duggan. Can't extract it. Dozen players round the footy. Rajic was one of them. In goes Kerrick. Nailed into the ground. Marinoff fed out the hand pass to Forth. Forth kicked it in towards the guts. Umpires put out a free kick for holding. Going the way of Emma Swanson. Boos from the Geelong fans. Now goes towards the half-forward front. They could be on here. Mark taken by Angela Foley. The captain goes towards the top of the square. Oh, she hit it and dropped it. Cold Sedentary goes back again, tries to get a toe poker. Denied. Taken by Birchall, and the umpires pulled out a free kick, going the way of the Cats. 25 minutes out from defensive goal.
Couple of casualties getting up off the contest. Teague. In fact, it's Blakeway to take the free kick. She'll chip it short to Cranston. Inside defensive 50, outer side for the Cats. High ball towards the centre wing, and she's picked out Boyd, who ran into a brick wall. Had to fire the handball backwards. The Cats have coughed it up. Clifford tries to come in to save the day, is unable to. Ball is held up, centre wing outer side will get a ball up. Match analyst today, Katie Lambeski.
Just a bit of news. It appears Northern Territory Vice Captain Sally Riley left the field in the second quarter. Her knee will require further assessment as it appears to be a strain. So, a big loss there to have that leadership off the ground.
The ball's pushed forward.
She came off in a lot of pain too when she came off.
Yeah.
So.
McCormick, her kick smothered out of play, and we will throw it in.
And Olivia Purcell getting a bit of work from the trainers as well on the boundary.
And we haven't seen Hall since the opening term, I think, or early in the second term was the last time she made the field.
Opening, she didn't make it in the second.
Anna Stevens to do the ruck work on this occasion against Jasmine Hewitt. Thunder trying to move the football forward. Only as far as putting her head over the ball, Amy McDonald, almost hatching it there. Play it down behind play, by the way, is Angela Foley, who gets up slowly for the Thunder as the Cats now attack inside 50. Looking in the Boyd direction, ball squeezed out. Danielle Orrs lurking around the pack, close towards the boundary line, seen over by Jenna McCormack, and still down, seeking trainer attention at this very moment. Now she gets up to jog it off. Must have just been a bit winded there, the Thunder captain and Foley.
Water runner trying to get her to come from the field by the looks of things. So the ball back into play, inside attacking 50 for the Cats. Fogus got the handball away in time. Ivy trying to feed it out, is unable to. Fogus went back in, got shoved off the footy. It pops out. Swanson caught. Umpire calls play on, and the Cats get a kick inside attacking 50. Bouncing ball. Thunder have numbers. Mia Ray Clifford was coming late. Picks up the ball for the Cats. The handball went a little astray. Opportunity at half forward now for Teague. She's dumped. Umpire calls play on. Coming through there was Bishop. Got dispossessed. Thunder get it to Hewitt. Oh, scrubber kick. Doesn't pay off. Sedentary off half back. Able to mop up. Puts the kick into a bit of space. Bounces kindly for the Thunder. They're unable to take it cleanly through. Radjic, who's now taken, got the kick away in time, but it was turned over. Bogus, her kick is intercepted. Thunder with a mark through Hewitt.
Less than 8 minutes remaining in the game, and it's all tied up at 42 apiece. 1-2 by Chilatieri standing tall there. Maddie McMahon, half back flank, broadcast side for the Cats. Look towards the city side. Now elects to go down the line. Pumps it long towards centre wing in the Boyd direction. She says to everyone, clear the way, the ball is mine. And she takes it on the left. Great vision, like she used to do at North Geelong a couple of years ago to Cranston. Cranston's got a player on here, trying to run on and pick up the football is Nina Morrison. Will it sit for her? Two Thunder players coming at her. Gave away the hand pass. Hurry snap by Mia Ray Clifford! And Geelong hit the front. 7-6-48 to 6-6-42 here on RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au. Match analyst Lisa Roper.
Yeah, that was some good play there through the middle for Geelong, and a quick play on with the ball and picking off the players out free. That's where you got to counter quick and counter the opportunities where you can spot them.
So the Cats get their noses in front for the first time since the early stages of the first term. It's 6 points. What have the Thunder got left in their tank? Cats will get the clearance. High ball towards half forward, and they get a mark. Taking it was Orr. High ball inside, attacking 50. Getting back for the Thunder. Sarah Allen takes the mark. Back pocket out of side. She'll look to go down along the boundary line. Hewitt, Morrison and Cranston go at it. Morrison ends up with the footy. It's called that it goes out over the boundary line and out of play. We'll throw it in between centre wing and half forward outer side for the Cats. They're 7-6-48. Thunder 6-6-42. Just ticking over 14 minutes in the final term on RSN Carnival and VFL.com.au.
McMahon versus Hewitt in this contest. Ball back in, one out by Hewitt, slapped it, double-fisted, but coming in is Cranston, who picked it up on the left, kicked around the corner towards the half-forward lane, now half-back lane. McCormick's given away a push. Free kick going the way of the Cats. They've got the footy, 55 metres out from goal. Is that Darby with the ball? See blonde hair from a distance.
Ivy, I think.
Thank you. Of course, we're not looking through the monitor. We don't have that advantage. We've gone the old-fashioned binoculars from here. Ivy unloads towards the top of the square, come off several set of hands, and dare I say, a very handy point as it goes through at the 14.5-minute mark. Geelong 7-7-49, NT Thunder 6-6-42.
Thunder need 2 scores to win. They get it to Swanson. Still inside defensive 50. She takes off. Kicks it up the corridor. Ivy front spot, couldn't bring it in. Foley flicked it out to McCormick, who's been impressive today for the Thunder. The kick to the wing. Hewitt goes to ground, tries to get the handball away. They're able to. They flick it out wide. Oh, is that in the back? The umpire says no. Play on. Lisa Roberts copping it there for the Thunder, who are desperate, trying to get it away from the contest. Jeffrey unable to get rid of it, and now the Cats will send it towards centre half forward. Mia Ray Clifford in a 2-on-1. Did she bring it in? She did. No, the umpire's waving play on. Confusion at centre half forward or centre half back for the Thunder, who try and release Marinoff. Spins her way around traffic. High ball towards the centre wing broadcast side. It goes down the throat of Maddie McMahon.
McMahon in front of the Norm Goss stand here at Stannard Stadium. Better known as North Port Oval. Goes short with a kick and kills a bit of the clock. Going the way of Maddie Boyd. Time is their friend now. Here in the minor semi-final. The umpire no doubt will give him the hurry up in a moment with 3.5 minutes remaining in the semi-final. Goes long over the head there at Darby. It got out the back to Kerrick with a shot at goal. And it's another handy point because they can't get a goal on the point to tie it, the Thunder. They now have to go for the win with the 2 goals. 3.5 minutes remaining, 7-8-50 the Cats. The Thunder 6-6-42 on RSN Carnival.
Foley went wide. Boyd bobbled out of her hands over the boundary line and out of play. Marinoff ensuring that we'll get a throw in.
Match analyst Katie Limbeski.
You have to say Geelong are just about home. A fantastic effort to pull back and just to keep at it. They got the momentum sometime in the third quarter and they just haven't let go, and the Northern Territory just haven't found the answer.
17 minutes into the final term. It's on the deck, fed out by hand to Swanson. High ball towards the centre wing. Cats with numbers. They get a kind bounce. McMahon got a handball away in time. No, says the umpire. A throw going the way of the Northern Territory. Hickey wanted to take the kick, but the umpire says no. Hewitt. She has the ball, centre wing broadcast side. Hewitt, inside 50, through fingertips, out the back, dancing through traffic was Hatchard. They work it by hand to Jeffrey from just within the 50-metre arc. Ball top of the goal square. Anna Teague on the last line of defence takes the mark, and we'll take some time off the clock as we approach 18 minutes in the final turn.
The former Geelong Super Cats basketballer goes in the Kate Darby direction, knocked out of her hand at the last moment. They get it forward to Maddie Boyd, who now puts it into space. Olivia Purcell chasing after the footy. It won't sit well for her, Barnett. Now the ball does sit kindly. It was a bit awkward there to Purcell originally. Then gained about 20 metres up the line. Only be taken by Thorne, who was immediately dispossessed of the football. Taken away by Cranston. Dribble forward, foot race on. Lisa Roberts chasing after the football. Mia Ray Clifford going after her. Roberts goes to ground. The umpire says in the back. And we have got 1.5 minutes remaining in the elimination semi-final. Geelong, they're holding an 8-point lead.
The kick high towards half back. It now becomes half forward because Rochelle Cranston has taken the mark. And she seems to have hurt herself in that contest. With a bit of a limp up, she goes back on the mark. Ticking down towards the 19-minute mark of the final term. The Cats lead by 8 points. Cranston from outside 50. 45-degree angle, unloads. It makes the distance, but it fades to the right. And it's now a 9-point advantage in favour of the Cats. 7:9:51, plays 6:6:42, less than a minute on the clock in this elimination semi-final.
With no time on, we must add, as the kick is long, heading in the Marinoff direction. Came off hands, got out the side. Hatcher did the support work there. The kick up towards centre wing. Cranston is lurking around. The ball, I thought, thrown back into play one-handed. The umpire says, yes, you tried a Harlem Globetrotters trick of behind the back, and that will be a free kick on the way of the Cats. Taking the football is Elise Coventry. The seconds tick down. Next week in the preliminary final, it'll be Collingwood versus Geelong for the right to play Hawthorn in the big dance in 2 weeks' time. Off hands. Harry pass away by Streeter. Kick hitting in the Michaelia Roberts direction. Jumped high. Knocked Kerrick off the ball. Going in there's Radjic. And the Cats eliminate the Thunder. Here at Stannard Stadium, Geelong 7:9:51 have defeated the NT Thunder 6:6:42. Lisa Roper, 2 months ago, the NT Thunder seemed unstoppable. It seemed like no side could come within them. Today, the Cats eliminate them from the first week of the finals.
Yeah, you know, they've had some great players over this season, and I think they really missed the likes of Chelsea Randall, the way she cuts off the ball and moves. What they do a lot of is an unstructured style of football, and I think when you come to Victoria, you've got to have some good, clean football and a bit of structure to your plan. And their three-quarter time was don't play safe. And I don't think they really got a chance to play Northern Territory style, and Geelong just were good. You know, the NT girls, a few of them got free out the back of the contest, and it just meant that they're then not accountable for the Geelong girls coming through, and as soon as they got the possession, they just punished them.
Even that last roll of the dice with about 2.5 minutes to go, they seemed uncertain. They didn't want to back themselves to go for it, kick long, when really they're the one that's under pressure. The clock's against them.
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, they had a couple of opportunities to go with that short kick and what they really have a refined game at, but they went the longer ball, and they just aren't very good at making use of that longer ball.
Which was incredibly different to when we saw them at Victoria Park, where in the second half they were incredibly well structured. They backed themselves. They had the confidence to be able to take the game on and get over the line on that occasion. Today, they just, for one reason or another, weren't prepared to be able to do that.
Yeah, very surprised to see that. Such a well-drilled team, such a well-skilled team as well. I just think they were outworked at the end of the day. They were well matched up. Geelong stood up in the key moments. They took back momentum, and once you have it, it can be very hard to. Once you lose, it can be very hard to take back. And Geelong made them pay. Unreal effort. They stuck with the Northern Territory girls in the first half, gave themselves a platform to build in the second half. So it was such a well-deserved win, and wow, it sets up an amazing prelim with Collingwood next week.
And just as we see at the moment in the centre of the ground, the NT Thunder girls in a circle, obviously saying their final words amongst themselves that their season has come to a close. The Cats, though, absolutely ecstatic, mingling with their supporters, and the supporters are going to form a guard of honour as well for them to come off the ground, which is fantastic to see. But how's that? 3 sides left, 3 big clubs. Hawks already there in the big dance. They'll either await a team that will want revenge against them in the Collingwood Magpies, one big club, or against a side or a club they've had a long rivalry with, particularly at AFL level, with Geelong, who could meet them in the big dance, depending on what happens in the preliminary final.
It sets up such a great few weeks. We'll bring it to you live here, and I'm so looking forward to it.
And I think I just overheard in the speaker was a bit distorted. I think they said Saturday 11:45. I think next week.
Well, there you go. Must have come through there. Didn't quite get all of it, but yeah, either way, we'll be there, and we're certainly looking forward to it.
While the Cat's being clapped off the ground, we might send Coxie away in a moment to see if he can grab Paul Hood to have a yarn with us, because we've got plenty of time. We've got 24 minutes before we jump off air at 2 o'clock on RSN Carnival, and of course the VFL.com.au listeners may leave us shortly. Just a quick note, don't forget the midweek show Wednesday 6 p.m. on RSN Carnival, when we dissect everything women's footy around Australia. So, Coxie, we'll let you just go for a moment to see if we can head on downstairs and see if we can grab Paul Hood to come up and have a yarn with us. The women's side for Geelong at the moment just forming a kind of mini guard of honour to let the Geelong men out. They've, of course, got 2 change rooms downstairs that are divided in half, so that's why, unlike some grounds where they'd have to wait for the men to be finished before going in, they've got the facilities here at Port Melbourne where they can have their own space. The Thunder being clapped off by their respective supporters, Ebony Maridoff leading them off. And you can see, I guess, the look of disappointment on their face. They've been a dominant side throughout the competition. The challenge was thrown down to them in the final quarter and they couldn't find the answer.
For sure, but maybe that's an accumulation of all the travel and all, obviously, the logistical issues that has to take a toll at some point, and maybe that happened today, but take nothing away from the Cats, who worked and grinded away, and then were able to manufacture attacks forward to really put the Territory Girls under the pump, and it's a well-deserved win. But again, it's for Northern Territory, I guess it's a matter of what might have been. Really good side to watch throughout the year, really took games on, really were sharpened, but unfortunately doesn't come up when it mattered the most.
Just to whet everyone's appetite, I think Collingwood Geelong only played once this season. It was in round 2 and it was a draw.
Wow.
Yeah,
see if you can pick them apart next week.
Wow. Be sure to get around that next week, ladies and gentlemen. Sure to be a massive game, and you have to favour Collingwood heading into that. Obviously finish first. They have that advantage, so again, how can you deny Geelong after today? So sets up a tantalising contest for sure.
And of course, don't forget, you'll hear that next week live on RSN Carnival, digital radio, the RSN Racing and Sport app, and rsn.net.au, as well as the VFL.com.au video stream, Collingwood and Geelong. And I've seen many years where preliminary final days here at Northport Oval get packed out. And obviously, if Geelong men win their way through today against Box Hill, so it's a Geelong doubleheader next week, it will be a massive day here next week.
You'd have to think so. Massive, some trips down the highway out here back into Melbourne. So sure to be a huge day. I hope both teams get around it.
And just going by was Casey Simons, women's editor of the Footy Almanac, who dropped off a couple of books. Thanks very much, Casey. Don't forget, you can find our podcast, Women's Australian Rules Football Radio, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts and SoundCloud, where we were at the launch of the Footy Almanac, by the way, during the week. And, of course, we chatted to Kendra Heil and Hannah Scott.
Fantastic artwork on the cover, actually, of the Almanac. That was obviously done by Kendra Heil. Captured the moment with Hannah Scott with the Premiership Cup. Certainly well captured, and get around the book. It's a great collection, and it's important to read that stuff with women's footy. Important to have, and get around it, everyone.
When Paul Hood comes up to obviously hopefully join us very shortly, I'll be intrigued to find out from him. Obviously, he was in the main coach's chair, but how much influence did Natalie Wood has as a coach? Because we're obviously keen to see how she'll go when she is the head VFLW coach next year.
Yeah, that transitioning happening as we speak, I guess. So really experienced head at this level, has played so much footy, and a really good addition for the Cats. And yeah, it'd be interesting to get Paul Hood's thoughts on that.
So the men's are out there at the moment doing their warm-up. Let's go through our post-game show and look at all the goal kickers and break it down. First of all, Rochelle Cranston, 2 goals. And as we've been talking about Rocky Cranston, the way that as she managed, she shedded weight, got fitter, her work rate as well. It wasn't like when she played that first year at Melbourne where she was just a bash and crash forward who would just come out at times. Her work rate in the guts of the ground to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, absolutely, a whole new option for them. And as I said before, she's in phenomenal shape. She's fantastic to watch play, and her game is just fantastic. So as Paul Hood makes his way out, the victorious coach of the Geelong Football Club today. So again, 2 goals for Cranston today, as well as 2 for Hannah Birchall. Singles to Purcell, Mia Ray Clifford and Danielle Orr. For the beaten Northern Territory, it's 2 to Mariana Rajcic, 1 to Renee Forth, 1 to Anne Hatchard, Jenna McCormick and Michaela Roberts with 1 each as well. They fall 7-9-51 to 6-6-42 to the Geelong Cats.
And joining us here in the commentary box on RSN Carnival is the victorious coach of the Geelong Cats. What a thriller it was there, Hoodie, halfway during that final quarter. We were talking up extra time there for a moment.
Yeah, we were hoping it was an extra time. I'm not sure if I've got that many years left to live. So, It was pretty cool, wasn't it? It was an amazing game of footy. Both teams really giving their all and the ball moving pretty quick at times. And yeah, really glad to be on the right end of the result.
Heading into today, what was the emphasis on with the Northern Territory? What was the game plan heading in?
Well, we know that they're capable of some really quick ball movement. They've got some fantastic runners as well as skillful players. So we were trying to stop them getting the ball out in space. And could see a few times when they scored, they were devastating when we did that. But we managed to keep it tight for long enough and get a few of our own.
So next week you're in against Collingwood. Last time you guys played them, you came out with the draw. What are you going to change for next week's outcome?
Look, not a lot. We're pretty happy with how we played today at this point. We'll obviously review it and have a look, but we know Collingwood are a really fierce and physical team, so we have to bring our A game around the contest and make sure that we can get the ball going our way. It's going to be a great match with the draw earlier. It's good to have a rematch, and yeah, hopefully we can go well.
I know a lot of people obviously, as well as finals, looking forward to AFLW. One name that just keeps throwing herself up and stood in the pressure cooker today was Olivia Purcell.
Yeah, she had a fantastic performance. Olivia and Nina Morrison as well on the wing. Those two youngsters had great games, and I'm really pleased with how they went, and I'm sure they've done their draft credentials no harm at all.
Rochelle Cranston I thought was a standout today. It's the first time I've seen her live this year, so I thought she looked outstanding. She's in phenomenal shape. How important has she been among the group, her experience and obviously her successful transformation as an AFLW footballer?
Yeah, Rocky's been very important. She's playing terrific footy. You know, as you see when she plays with real passion, wears her heart in the sleeve, and she's a great leader for our group. And every time she plays, she continues to get better, and we're so lucky to have her.
You lost Erin Hoare early in the game, and I had to notice, but you did look a bit cleaner through the stoppages and had a lot more run after that. Has she got a serious injury? Do you think she'll be back?
At the moment, she's got her foot in a moon boot, and that's all we know. And they'll go through all the scans and those sort of things that the medical people do and let us know about her availability for next week. But yeah, that was unfortunate. But Kate Darby, Maddie McMahon, and Courtney Stevens did a great job covering for her, and our midfield adjusted well and really ran out the game.
And also as well, Hoodie, obviously coaching down there on the boundary line is Natalie Woodskill. Will take over from you next year at the VFLW level. Can you give us a bit of an insight to the influence that she had in today's game?
Yeah, Natalie's done a super job. So she's worked so hard with our defensive crew, keeping them tight, and then really adding layers to their game. So rather than just being close checking defenders now, we're able to run off half back, and her experience and her ability to convey the message to the players has been fantastic. We're really fortunate to have her at the Cats.
And how are you looking forward to next week, taking on one of the biggest clubs in the land, the Collingwood Football Club, next week in the preliminary final, to, if you hopefully win that, to take on the club's possibly most hated rival, the Hawthorn Hawks, in the grand final?
We don't hate anyone down at Geelong. It's not like that. We just know that some teams are really hard to beat, but it's really exciting. It's great to be alive in footy in September, and we just look forward to every challenge as it comes, but really glad that we're here.
Woody, thanks very much again for joining us here on RSN Carnival. Congratulations, celebrate with the girls, and we'll see you next week in the preliminary final.
Thank you, guys. See you then.
Paul Hood, the coach of the Geelong VFLW side, and of course he will be coach of Geelong AFLW next year in the 2019 competition. And what a way it would be to start the AFLW campaign if they could take home the VFLW premiership.
Amazing way to set up. Again, this is a testament to all the hard work so many people in Geelong have put in with, AFL Bow and all those governing bodies there. So much has been gotten right, and they're ready to hit the ground running. And of course, we're as good a chance as anyone to win a flag this year. So, wow, incredible stuff.
I just want to quickly say as well for the VFL.com.au stream that may be leaving us very shortly. I know there's a lot of Cats fans watching online. You can actually, if you can't watch Channel 7 because you might be interstate and you want to follow the Geelong versus Box Hill Hawks men's game, that game is actually being broadcast by 3WBC 94.1 FM in Melbourne. And if you go online and search for 3WBC, you'll find their website and you can be able to stream the audio that for those that are interstate that want to hear how the Cats go against the Box Hill Hawks. But again, thank you to the VFL.com.au viewers, and we'll catch you again, looks like Saturday next week here at Stannard Stadium for Collingwood v Geelong in the Swiss Wellness VFLW competition. But RSN Carnival listeners, stay with us for about another 14 minutes before we sign off at 2 o'clock. Crowd a little bit less.